Well, once again, the Keystone Center is the scene for the start of the WHL's championship series. Last night, Wheat Kings fans saw their team win in round 4 for the first time since Game 3 of the 05 championship against the Kelowna Rockets. And there's the hero from their overtime win in Game 1. Tanner Kaspick, the Brandon product, has scored in 3 of the last 4 games, and his OT winner was the second game winner of these playoffs. And Nolan Patrick, red hot right now for the Wheat Kings. 8 points over a 3-game point streak. Remember, he had 5 points to close out Red Deer in round 3 and a big tying goal in the third period of last night's game. And Matthew Barzal, the first-round pick of the New York Islanders, 19 points to lead the Thunderbirds, but he was held off the score sheet for the first time in 5 games in Game 1. So he'll try to get on the score sheet this evening. And Seattle looking for their first championship win. As we welcome you to Levin Machinery, WHL on Shaw and Bobdale Gloves, WHL Central. Good evening. I'm Andy Neal. Well, the table is now set for more high seas drama here in Game 2 of this WHL Championship Series from the Wheat City. And the Wheat Kings able to draw first blood against the Seattle Thunderbirds last night in a come-from-behind 3-2 overtime win in front of an electric, sold-out crowd here in the series opener. And Brandon is going for redemption. Their second straight year in the WHL Championship Series. They were swept last season by the Kelowna Rockets and trying to end a drought, looking for their first WHL title since 1996. And as for the Seattle Thunderbirds, they haven't won a WHL championship yet. In fact, the only time that they won the Western Conference title in 1997, they were swept by the Lethbridge Hurricanes. But having said that, Seattle was really on a tear at the end of the regular season to win the U.S. Division title, and through 3 rounds of the playoffs leading up to round 4, they had a 12-1 record, and trying to even the series tonight before we go to Kent, Washington for Game 3 of this championship series. And it is with great pleasure that we welcome back to the WHL on Shaw team. Peter Loubardias is back in the broadcast booth tonight, calling the action alongside Bill Wilms. Gentlemen, take it away.
Pete, welcome back, buddy. A lot of people pulling for you. Nice to have you here.
Bill, it's awesome, and thanks so much to everyone. All the well wishes. As if you don't know, I've been battling a few health issues for the last 2 months, and if you know me, you know there's no place in the world I'd rather be than right where I am here tonight. But let's get to the kids, let's get to the teams, and let's get to game number 2. I thought a tale of 2 games last night. Seattle showed us why. They were 27-1-1 going all the way back to the regular season, heading into the first game, and then Brandon took over in the third in overtime when they outshot the Thunderbirds 27-6 on their way to the victory.
Well, let's take a look at what happened. There's a goal in each of the periods to start with. Brandon makes it 1-0, a little bit against the run of the play. Reed Duke on a 2-on-1. Period number 2, Donovan Niles, a shorthanded goal, ties it for Seattle. Seattle, take a look at this fresh ice. You know how early in the period that is. Ryan Groff, a power play goal. Seattle 2-1. A little bit later on, Brandon ties it at 2. Nolan Patrick, ever so dangerous around the net. You could feel the Wheat Kings coming on. It's overtime. They're in the offensive zone. It's 9-0 shots on goal until they finally get this opportunity here. 2 Brandon kids. Duncan Campbell, Tanner Kaspick combined. What eye-hand coordination at 6:22 of overtime. 3-2 Brandon win.
Jordan Paperny with an .897 save percentage in the playoffs heading into Game 1. He was excellent. He was named the second star, and I think in many ways he allowed his group to get its feet underneath them and come back and win Game 1 of this series.
It started really early. This Kevin less scoring chance, that's in the first couple minutes of the game. I thought that got him going. I think he was at his postseason best in the first 2 periods. Made 26 saves on 27 shots. Those 2 periods alone, 9-6-3. He didn't have to do much after that. In fact, he didn't face a shot in overtime. He finished with 31 of 33. Solid second star performance.
On the back end, the leader for the Wheat Kings is just the second member of the Brandon team ever to be named the Defenseman of the Year, and he is Ivan Provorov, the first-round pick of the Philadelphia Flyers, 7th overall, 71 points during the course of the regular season. He was plus 64. That led the league. Now, you take a look at his numbers, Bill, right now. 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points in the playoffs. But my guess is that has a lot to do with the type of people he's defending every night in this postseason.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. You know, his play takes a toll on his body. Going back to the Eastern Conference Final against Red Deer, 2 big hits. But what he does at the offensive line, this is what makes him so good offensively, finds people. And when he does it, he moves himself into a spot to take a pass. This is what happened last night. He wants to elevate that game physically. There's a hit he makes. But, boy, this one that Scott Enser catches him, boy, you know, that takes a toll on the body. But, you know, this matchup here with Provorov and Barzal, that's also taking a toll on him. He's got to be so mentally and physically sharp. We'll watch how that matchup proceeds through the next couple games.
Well, Barzal's really as dynamic and dangerous as almost anyone in the league. 88 points during the regular season. He did that in only 58 games. Played for Canada at the World Junior Hockey Championship. But we know about his offense. Is he becoming a better 200-foot player?
Well, we'll have a look. Obviously, the work that he does in the offensive zone is pretty elite. I mean, he handles the puck and is so aware of his surroundings. You think he's only a playmaker? Watch this. This is a tremendous backhand right underneath the crossbar. Terrific. Go to game 1 last night. His puck control again in the offensive zone, Pete, very, very good. Bounces one right off the crossbar there. But it's, you know, when he pulls up in the offensive zone, he finds people, but it's this defensive play. That's Provorov with the puck. He's heading north. He gets away from a lot of people. Barzal did a real nice job defending there to create an offensive chance. Yeah, I think he is becoming a much more complete player.
If game number 2 here tonight in the Westman Center, I still like to call it the Keystone Center, so does that make anybody mad?
No, that's fine.
If it's anything like last night, you're in for a treat. And we'll have it for you on Shaw next.
Lottery in support of the Red Deer Hospital is bigger and better, with 465 prizes valued at over $1 million. Early bird prizes include a 2016 Harley-Davidson Road King, plus $50,000 cash. And new this year, 31 days of critical cash withdrawals for $500 made every day in June, ending with a draw for $5,000. Get your early bird tickets by May 15th. Call now or visit hospitalslottery.com.
Hi folks, it's me, Don Taylor, way up here with my friend Murph. At Levitt Machinery, they sell, lease, rent, and service all these machines, and they offer certified training. Need a lift? Stack it, breach it, lift it. Levitt.
Standing room only again for Game 2 of the Western Hockey League Championship Series in Brandon. Let's welcome in the 4th member of our broadcast crew. Here is Stu Walters.
Yes, thanks very much, Peter, and had a chance to speak with Wheat Kings head coach Kelly McCrimmon before the game. He says after a long layoff, we simply didn't have our legs early in Game 1. However, he was impressed with early in the third period how they were able to take over after going down 2-1. He says our puck support was much better, and we used our speed to dominate territorially the rest of the way. He also said our best player on the night was Jordan Paperny. He was dialed in all night right from the start. He said, simply put, Paperny was at his best before we were at our best. We need to have better urgency off the start. We'll see how it plays out tonight. Peter.
Tonight's starting goaltenders. He was acquired at the deadline from Swift Current. 20-year-old Landon Bowe. He's from St. Albert. And what a difference maker he has been in this outstanding run for the T-Birds. At the other end, he was the game's second star last night with 31 saves. He's from Edmonton. Just turned 20 in April. Jordan Paperny. Longtime general manager and head coach Kelly McCrimmon, whose team won its first game in a Western Hockey League final since 2010, Steve Konowalchuk. And his Thunderbirds looking for that franchise's first ever win in the Western Hockey League title set. And we are underway in game number 2 as Ryan Groff shoots it in. Paperny steers it into the corner. Urkamps to McCauley, who starts for the Wheat Kings with Quenneville and Reed Duke, and he'll chip it in deep. Jared Smith, the captain, wins a board battle and plays it up the boards, and Barzal is there to tip it to Colzar. And here comes the dynamic one. Barzal throws it rink wide to Ethan Bear. Groff will tap it to Barzell, back towards the line, and Bear does well to hold it in on 2 different occasions. Last night in Game 1, the Wheat Kings did not record a shot, Bill Wilms, until 10:08 of the opening frame.
It was all Seattle, and I was impressed with their puck movement. I was impressed with their skating, and I thought their puck challenges and man-to-man challenge in their own zone was great.
The Thunderbirds, going all the way back to the regular season, have lost 1 game in regulation time in their last 30, but they trail in this set. Tyler Coulter all over Ethan Bear, and here's the 17-year-old phenom, Nolan Patrick. Huge hit on the boards, but here comes Enser. Enser with Volkin. Run out of real estate by Clegg, and Paperny will freeze the loose puck.
Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw is brought to you by Levitt Machinery, online at levittmachinery.com.
Well, Pete, we talked about his team getting off that almost perfect start last night. I love the way they picked up open Wheat King players in their zone. The first Brandon shot came, as you said, at the 10-minute mark. Look at the hit early in this first period right now. And they got the first scoring chance last night as well. They got the first power play. Everything I thought for the first part of that game was in Seattle's favor. They just got to sustain it.
Mitch Wheaton, who came over from Saskatoon, with a huge delivery on Donovan Niles, who opened the scoring last night for the Thunderbirds in the series with a shorthanded tally. This is young Jarrett Tiska. Runs into Duncan Campbell. Brandon Schulthouse. I think, Bill, will see more of both teams' third pairings on defense. Both groups really went the majority of the night with their top 4 one night ago.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They had to cut it down a little bit. Tail of the tape, take a look at what's happened so far in the playoffs. You see their home ice record. You know, Brandon's been just terrific. I think that road record, too, for the Seattle Thunderbirds has really turned around. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later because they've never had a real good home ice record during the regular season.
Tiska coming off an injury, a couple of them during the season wearing that full shield as the puck centered in front by Magali and intercepted by True. Sends Leth away. He's got great speed. Leth cutting to the net. And Paperny, for the second night in a row early, robs the Thunderbirds' number 9, Calvin Leth, out of Tabor, Alberta. Smith paired with big Jared Hoff. It is a large Seattle defense, stature-wise. Paperny out to play it. He'll ring it off the end boards and find Ty Lewis. Rink wide on the tape of Gutenberg. He scoots in. That's a tester for Bo. Lewis a try. And Smith takes his time and space away in a hurry. Urkamps keeps it alive for McCorrister. Brandon with its so-called fourth line on the ice. Gutenberg trying to move away from Matthew Wedman. Protects it on the boards. Help from McCorrister. Fans buzzing early. Lewis a chance, and that hit a body and went wide of the target. Schumacher. Now it's Urkamp. He floats in a wrist shot, and no trouble for Landon Bowe.
What a stretch pass from Alexander True to Kevin Leth. Watch it right here. He gets a half a step, simply gets around. James Shearer gets the first chance like he did last night. We were talking about that. Kevin Leth, 6 goals on the season, 6 goals in playoffs as well. And again, here you come the other way. Pete, you got to match speed with speed. You get a chance at one end, you got to make sure you answer back going the other way.
Steve Konowalchuk very happy to have Calvin Leth, who they acquired in a trade from Swift Current for defenseman Savan Kara. He's fit in very nicely for this T-Bird team that knocked off the defending champion Kelowna in 4 straight to advance to this championship series. Konowalchuk, a former Western Hockey Leaguer himself, and a very solid NHL career to boot. Coulter in front. Patrick! Good save by Bo. Provorov a chance, and it's blocked by Ethan Bear. As the Wheat Kings with a lot of jump in the early going. The top line on the ice, Howerluck, Coulter, and, of course, Jace Howerluck. Howerluck intercepted by Groff as both teams' number one units go head-to-head as they did most of game number one. Here's Patrick, who scored in game number one, can't handle it at the line, and Smith takes over. Jared Hoff misses Nolan Volkin, his stick lifted, and play continues on. And for a second, the players weren't exactly sure whether it was going to be icing or not.
One of the things that the Wheat Kings do, probably as well if not better than most teams, is funnel pucks to the net. This is what we're talking about. It's exactly what happened there. From the face-off, they actually funneled it towards the front of the net. They had a second chance at it there as Ivan Provorov, of all people, the defenseman, number 9. Look at where he moves to. He's sensing that there's action in front of the net. He's sensing that Bo is going to be under some pressure, and he went to the front of the net to try to capitalize on that chance.
Landon Bow in the postseason, 12-2, a 1.68 goals against average, and a 9.35 save percentage. Cale Clegg, the highly regarded 17-year-old defenseman, could be a first-rounder in the upcoming National Hockey League draft at the end of June in Buffalo. And boy, has he found his stride in the postseason. He already has 14 points. This is Stelio Mateus to last night's hero, Tanner Kaspick, the Western Hockey League Scholastic Player of the Year. Hoff to Smith, and the captain finds Volkin. Volkin into the zone on left wing. His shot off the stick of Clegg goes well wide. Kaspick will chop at it and find Clegg. To Duncan Campbell, and he's upended. Good hit by Nolan Volkin just inside the line, and here's Enser. Enser played for the United States at the World Junior Championship this year in Finland. Tiskanau, as the Wheat Kings continue to press in the Thunderbird zone of that forecheck. Quenneville shoots a rocket over top of the net. Leads all Western Hockey League playoff goal getters with 13. Magali on the cycle. Tim Magali to Jordan Thompson. Thompson a shot, good block, finds its way to the end glass. Magali for Reed Duke, who got tied up for a second by the referee, and then a backhand saucer that's broken up.
And Tishka happier than anybody on that team, the 6-year-old defenseman, and then gets a break to get off the ice. This is what happens when you're 16 and you come up the ice and you don't make the right decision with the puck. He forced the play, could never get back into it, and Quenneville taking advantage of exactly that. That's just a forced pass. He's going to make those mistakes, but he's going to be better after that or because of that. And that's exactly what Quenneville recognizes, gets a chance on net.
Tishka was the 14th overall pick. We're making that the 16th overall pick in the Bantam draft of 2014.
And a tremendous surprise this season from the Yale Hockey Academy. Certainly hasn't been buried in the Seattle blue line. He gets to play with some very good players.
I think he's going to be a real good one, Bill, before he's done in this league. Provorov, who's been sensational in his 2 years in the Western League, has his shot blocked, and Schumacher sends it in deep. McCoy Erkamps from Delta, British Columbia. Up to Ty Lewis, hits the linesman with it, and now will slide it in for Gutenberg, who shows off his great speed again. McCorrister on the cycle to Lewis. And Wedman in a battle uses his size to win it, but Lewis keeps it alive in the line. Turner Ottenbright from nearby Yorkton, Saskatchewan. Schumacher up the boards, finds Josh Urich. And McCorrister, a good piece of hitting inside his own zone to free the puck loose. Both teams making changes. Nearly 7 minutes into game number 2. The Wheat Kings lead the series 1-0. Now it's Barzell with Groff headed to the net. Barzell forced to turn by Magali, who made an excellent defensive play. And here's Reed Duke looking for the ice. And icing is the call.
You got Barzal in the offensive zone, and we talked about the open Provorov versus Barzal. There's a lot of work to get that puck into that spot. Once he fights it in his skates, Magali's going to come there, and watch number 9, Provorov. He's going to show up because he knows that's his man. That's a battle we talked about. And if you can create a loose puck off of Matthew Barzal's possession, you've done a nice job.
Bill, every time Barzal's on the ice, you'll see Provorov and Urkamps. Ottenbright shot, hits drop, finds its way to big Keegan Kolazar. Draft pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Smith looking for a shooting lane, an open one, found one, and Paperny finds the puck.
And you know, Pete, I have a strong suspicion that Barzal-Provorov matchup might continue right into the National Hockey League. A couple first rounders, one there, Provorov obviously with Philadelphia, Barzal with the New York Islanders, and it started here, and I think it's going to continue. There's again, look at that long stick. He uses, that's a long stick. Pete, do you know how long it is at all?
No.
It's the longest I've heard in the league. I don't know how long it is, but he uses it obviously to shoot and pass the puck well. By the way, the kid's first pass is NHL level right now, but he does such a good job using that stick to tie people up as well.
I've said it a number of times. I'll be surprised if he doesn't get every chance to be in the National Hockey League as a 19-year-old next season.
And how about Sanheim? 2 Philadelphia products. Pretty good stuff, huh?
They are loading up with some nice people on the back end in the city of brotherly love. Which, by the way, if you've ever been there for a sporting event, they're not always that nice. Here's Volkin. Racing to a loose puck, Nolan Volkin, and an excellent defensive play by Mitch Wheaton. Ottenbright, that goes well wide of the net. Ethan Bear, and that hits a body, goes high in the air, and finds Volkin. Thunderbirds with some good pressure now. Answer to the line, and Bear. His wrist shot through traffic, didn't miss by much. Answer wants Niles, but Wheaton broke that up. Ottenbright, good pass to Bear. Bear a drive and a glove save by Paperny as Niles involved in the goal crease.
Nice job by Volkin coming up the ice with some speed. Talked a lot about his quickness and what he does on this line, but, you know, he goes to shoot. You get, you know, just laying down on the ice, blocking this thing. This is Volkin coming over. Is that Wheaton with a nice job recognizing Clegg was on the back check, his defensive partner. But then again, a nice job that the Vikings do of maintaining or having a 5-man unit defensively. They never let that puck get to a clear shooting spot for the team in blue, the Seattle Thunderbirds.
Top line against top line, if you will. Patrick and his group against Barzal. This is Nolan Patrick for Jace Howerluck. Great feed. Patrick moving in. Robbed by Bo. Best save of the night. Patrick has 8 points in his last 4 playoff games. Coulter. Urkamps. That hit Jared Hoff. Provorov for Howerluck. Barzal ties up Patrick. Backhand shot by Coulter hits Patrick. And Gropp wants to clear it out but can't. As Howerluck funnels it into the corner and Patrick. Coulter for Patrick one time. Hits Barzal and Bo, and there's Howerluck. He's always right in the middle of it.
Boy, it's phenomenal. The way Jace Howerluck plays, he was a 100-point guy. It's hard to believe. You think he's just kind of a grinder. You know, you watch Hoff step up in the neutral ice area, number 33 there, doink, right past him. Now you got some problems. If you get caught in the neutral ice area as a defenseman, this is what's going to happen. Bo had to make a terrific save on Patrick. And, you know, number 8, I don't know if it's going to be right here, but number 8 ends up with his nose down in the pile. Here he comes. Jace Howerluck right in that spot there. Are you surprised he's the hardest worker award in Brandon, Jace Howerluck? Not at all, as far as I'm concerned.
Unfortunately for he and the Wheat Kings, his work has him in the penalty box.
But you got to accept that from him.
He has to play a little on the edge or over it.
Yeah.
Howerluck, who is 4th in league scoring with 106 points for Kelly McCrimmon in the box, and the Thunderbirds with the game's first power play. Bear a shot, and Paperny fights through traffic to make a good save. Kolazar on Provorov. There is an NHL outlet by Provorov that helps his group clear the zone. Ethan Bear, 16 points in the playoffs. Kolazar carries in, but Gropp a little impatient and beat him in over the line.
Pete, there's not a lot of times a defenseman leaves the so-called box or structure area on the penalty kill unless your name is Provorov. Look at the hit he delivers on Kolazar. He says, you know what, I'm going to go battle for that puck. I don't care if my team's shorthanded or not. There comes the support. Real good job by Urquhart. Ultimately, that play continues and the face-off comes outside the blue line.
Thunderbirds were 1 out of 5 in game number 1. Gropp scoring on the power play last night. Bear, the quarterback of that power play, finds Keegan Kolazar and Gropp with great speed. Excellent play by Cale Clegg to tap it off his stick and find Reed Duke.
Made it look easy, didn't he?
He sure did. And Duke, who's having a great playoff, scored last night, slides it down the ice. Bear from nearby, the Ochapowace First Nations Reserve. Enter, and there's Provorov with that long stick to deflect it out of play.
You know, when you're a finesse player like Cale Clegg, you make an impact in all 3 zones. Watch him here turn. This is nothing but finesse. He doesn't even engage. He doesn't have to make much contact. Knocks the puck off the stick in the corner of the rink. Just such good awareness by Cale Clegg. You know, he played in a CHL Prospects game in Vancouver in January. I wonder how much the scouts think he's come since that game that day, because they're seeing him deep in the playoffs.
And 14 points in the playoffs as well, the product of Lloyd Minster, whose dad, Jason, was a goaltender in the Western Hockey League. Patrick, rebound, great save off of Provorov, who is everywhere in this opening frame. He must have been watching our open.
I know he was watching the open.
Volkin. Provorov with good body position on the end boards. Donovan Niles to the line. And now it's Tishka to Jared Smith. Fakes the shot, and Scott Enser. Already with 7 postseason goals. He scored 12 in the regular season. Tishka, good block by Reed Duke. 5 to go in the power play. Tishka again. That hits Provorov, and Duke backhands it. And the Wheat Kings kill off the game's first power play.
And I'm blown away with 16-year-old Tishka on the power play, late in that power play. Wow, what a prospect.
Barzell strips a puck in the neutral zone off the stick of Gropp, who finds Kolazar. Barzell and Clegg in a tussle. Kolazar at 6'3", nearly 220. Matched against Wheaton, who's every bit as large stature-wise at 6'5", in that 220 neighborhood himself. And a nice reverse for Cale Clegg. Intercepted by Barzell, and Clegg with a good recovery to break it up. As Ottenbright will scoop it in deep, and Steve Konowalchuk's team makes a change. Tip to the line and out, and now backhanded in by Magali. Good stretch pass to Lapp again, and Thompson off the bench. Jordan Thompson, a one-time 4th overall pick in the Western Hockey League Bantam Draft.
With Kamloops.
Chips it in for Jace Howerlick. And Coulter bounces right in front of the net. And again, the Thunderbirds defense boxing out well in front. True to left, swats it ahead. And now True runs into Howerlick at the line. And Nick Holoko shoots it in and takes a little shot from Coulter. And the puck knocked down by a high stick. Different than one night ago. But the result at this point one night ago, the same. Back after this from Brandon.
Welcome to Select Fluid Power, home of our brand new state-of-the-art cylinder repair and hard chrome plating facility. With a fully equipped hydraulic cylinder repair shop, Select Fluid Power is your one-stop cylinder repair shop. Open 7 days a week, serving Western Canada.
Distance gained. No walls to separate us and our home. Drawn deeper by the presence of no one and the essence of everything. Mother Nature's timeless masterpieces, stretching past the sky and the edge of the world, calling us to explore supernatural British Columbia.
The Mercedes-Benz AMG GT. Available at Lone Star Mercedes-Benz. Current offers at LoneStarInsider.ca.
With Wheat Kings head coach Kelly McCrimmon. Kelly, you wanted more urgency. Have you liked your start in Game 2 here?
Yeah, I think the pace has been good. I think guys are ready to play on both teams.
And you get a little momentum here even off that PK kill.
Yeah, our PK was good. We've had some chances. Bo's made some good saves. We got to stick with a lot of the same things that we're doing.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
Guys?
You watch this, folks. There's so much happening on this play. First of all, the shot by Patrick, that's one thing. Look at Tishka here. He forces his goaltender to make the biggest save in that game so far. And in the front of the net, you've got Provorov. Have a look. This is a save he makes off the original shot. That's a save he makes off his own man. And what's number 9 doing there? It's a shorthanded situation. Huh? Crazy. Kelly. Wow. You know what? I got to figure out why. One of the reasons is Brandon crowd has been so energized, maybe the best in years. Number one, the Wheat Kings have started all 4 series on home ice. They've won twice in overtime. And number 2, the Wheat Kings have closed every one of the first 3 series on home ice. They've had this crowd in here delirious at times.
This has been as good a Brandon crowd as I have ever been lucky enough to see in person and feel in person.
I couldn't agree with you more.
And I did my first ever Western Hockey League road game in this building back in late September of 1989.
No, it's really been something else. They've been so engaged. It's been such a fun to be part of.
McCoy Urkamps to Provorov. Outlet on the tape of Quenneville, the first-round pick of the New Jersey Devils in 2014. On the ice again with Magali and Reed Duke. Urkamps off the stick of Magali, finds Duke. The former Lethbridge Hurricane, Magali to Duke. Centering pass and a good one. Backhander by Quenneville as Bill, what has allowed the Wheat Kings, for me in many ways, to be the highest scoring team in the league again, is they come at you with the Patrick line and then come right back with the line that just created that chance.
Yeah, it's a 1 and a 1A or 1A, 1B line. There's no first and second line. And you know what? They get that great second effort on shifts. You know, you think you're done with them, and then they make that play out of the corner of the rink to a guy like Quenneville. And I talked about in the overtime game against Red Deer. He kind of shows up like a stealth. You never know where he is, and all of a sudden he's in the middle of it.
Coulter's shot goes well wide of the target, and Volkin in a foot race against Cale Clegg, who once again makes a solid play.
He made it look so easy.
Did he ever? Rated number 27 in the most recent rankings by NHL Central Scouting amongst North American skaters. Coulter to Jace Howerluck. Howerluck forced offside, and he's not very happy about it. And then Turner Ottenbright gives him a bit of a shot. A little shocking in the case of Howerluck, who scored 47 during the course of the regular season. He's been very productive in the playoffs, but he hasn't scored a goal in 11 games.
Yeah, you know what? That is surprising in a way for me as well. But, you know, and again, as you said, you know, being a 100-plus point guy, Florida just loves him. Dale Talon promised he'd take him in round 2 if he was available. Hasn't let him down. And, you know, for Jace Howerluck, what a springboard into the postseason. He was a player of the month in February and March. He was ready.
Bill, in his last 39 total games, he has 80 points.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't 18 or 38. That's 80. As Drop looking for his second of the series with a wrist shot. And Paperny in excellent position to make the save.
Well, again, you're Provorov. You're going to handle the puck a lot. There's a defensive partner, Urkamp's. That puck, it does sit down. He just wants to knock it into the neutral ice area. But, that's a nice job of eye-hand coordination, knocking it down and getting the puck on the net. Sometimes that pass, that little flip pass in the neutral ice area allows a Viking to skate onto it.
Hoff has the puck skip over his stick. Smith watched closely by Quenneville, intercepted by Tim McGauley. His shot just wide on the short side. Urkamps keeps it alive. And Hoff a chance to clear, but he can't. Duke intercepts. Had it roll off his stick as he went to the backhand. Duke, a 6th-round pick of the Minnesota Wild. Duke again with control of the puck. He has 21 playoff points. Provorov slaps it for McGauley. This line once again creating havoc in the Thunderbird zone. Back to the line, Provorov, and Urich blocked it, and away from the puck in fractions.
Boy, Big Jared Hoff was taken 4th overall in the 2010 Bantam draft. He was the first defenseman taken, and there was some serious Jared Cowan comparisons. Plays for the Ottawa Senators. Nice job, but you could tell he was a guy that gave that puck away, Pete, and he was a guy that had, look at him try to catch his breath. He spent the next 45 seconds in his zone because of it.
21-year-old from Calgary, 6'5", 225. No infractions called, just a lot of pointing by the referee to Hoff and Quenneville as Paperny takes no chances with 5:03 to go in a scoreless opening period. This series will shift to Kent, Washington on Tuesday for game number 3, and we'll have it all for you right here on the Western Hockey League on Shaw, brought to you by Levitt Machinery. Never been to that building, Bill.
Nice building.
Very much looking forward to it.
Good U.S. crowd that, as I've said before, the difference is that they cheer for incentives probably more than cheering for reward. They want the guys to get going. That's the one thing you notice about most of those American buildings.
And they're already sold out for that game on Tuesday. Tishka. Shot blocked in front, spinning around, Holoko, through an opportunity, and Paperny makes another quality stop. Holoko with Calvin left and Alexander True, a 2-time member of the Danish World Junior team. He's number 16 for Seattle. Tishka and Campbell collide, and True comes away with a loose puck and able to slip it deep into the zone. Kaspic shovels it up the boards, and Ethan Bear turns with it. Ottenbright. True will chip it in and make his way to the bench for a change as Clegg turns away from Schumacher. Big Andreas Schumacher sends it to the opposite corner. And Clegg with a little time and space finds McCorrister. Mitch Wheaton. Ty Lewis as far as the line, and now intercepted by Gutenberg. He's been impressive in this period. Boy, can he scoot. Fourth lines on both teams did not see a lot of ice last night. Schumacher gets as far as center and clears it in. Shots on goal, dead even, 9-9 at this point. Volkin hits the line with Enser and Niles and turned aside smartly by Paperny. Niles in the corner protects it well against Clegg. Clegg stays with him, and Volkin to Enser. From Englewood, Colorado, he tries a shot. Fans on it, and Patrick, an outlet to Coulter. Coulter and Smith battle for the possession of the puck. Patrick supports it well. Patrick from a sharp angle. That tests Landon Bow. Hauerlich now to Urkamps. Urkamps' shot. He hit Enser in front. And a penalty for slashing is going to go to the Thunderbirds' big blue liner, Jared Hoff, and he is incensed as he makes his way to the box.
Well, there's a battle between he and Patrick in front of the net. You see what he thinks about it, and obviously what his coach does as well. You're going to watch the front of the net area. There's the shot and the pushback, if you will, by number 19. That's Patrick. Now, I think he's already taken the slash at his stick. And if that is the case, I am a little surprised that maybe, just maybe, it doesn't go both ways. But really, a time here with 2:39 left. Bottom left of your screen here. There's the push, there's the slash. Well, what do you folks at home think of that one? But it is a call what it is, and very, very critical part of this first period with the Wheat Kings on the power play with 2:39 left in a scoreless first period.
Steve Konowalchuk unhappy with the call. Brandon 1 for 5 in game 1 with the power play. Reed Duke scored his 7th of the postseason with a man advantage. And he's on the ice now. Quenneville to Magali. Quenneville in tight space to Clegg. Now for Duke. Cale Clegg, his shot. That's blocked to the corner. Quenneville. Good stick by Ethan Bear. True knocks Quenneville to the ice. Scrum ensues in Ottenbright. An outlet for left. And left makes no mistake as he shoots it the length of the ice.
Smart play by Ottenbright to get that puck into a neutral side of the ice where it could be cleared.
His play has come miles in the last couple of seasons. Number 4 stands up Magali and allows Niles to shoot it right on Paperny. Thunderbirds were the number 1 penalty killing team during the regular season. Provorov drops it back. Here's Patrick to Hauerluck. Rink wide on the tape of Urkamps. It beat Bo, but just enough to send it wide. Patrick into the slot. Hauerluck without a stick. A great kick save by Landon Bowe, who's had a major impact. Both goalies have in period 1.
Beat that entry by the Wheat Kings was sensational. They kept it alive and got one more scoring chance after that. I've been counting the passes that they've completed in this power play. It's at least 15.
And in talking to Kelly McCrimmon today, that was one of his concerns about his power play last night, were the entries. Enter the zone again, but it's Jarrett Smith. It's been a tower of strength in these playoffs and all season. Provorov nearly fell down, but recovered in the nick of time as Seattle able to kill off the penalty. Drop. Now it's Ottenbright for Ethan Bear. Off Barzell's stick in the neutral zone. Duncan Campbell, who drew an assist on the Caspic overtime winner last night. Brandon's first overtime win in a league championship series since 1996, when Mike LeClaire scored in game 1 to beat Spokane. In the first period, an entertaining one, Mr. Wilms, comes to a conclusion.
Well, you know that Brandon Wheat Kings and Kelly McCrimmon were not going to let what happened last night in the first period happen tonight. And when that team's skating off the ice over there, when they're moving their feet and they're chasing pucks and they're winning races, they're going to test anybody. And that Seattle team's been under a lot of pressure that period. Konowalchuk knows they're going to address that in between this first and second period.
We'll send it to Andy Neal.
All right, thanks very much, Peter. Coming up in the first intermission, we will hear from Brandon Wheat Kings defenseman Ivan Provorov. We'll go inside the WHL with Jeff Odgers in a conversation with Ron Toigo, the owner and governor of the Vancouver Giants, who are off to Langley for the 2016-17 season. No score through 1 in Game 2 of the WHL Championship on Levitt Machinery, WHL on Shaw.
Hi folks, it's me, Don Taylor, way up here with my friend Murph. At Levitt Machinery, they sell, lease, rent, and service all these machines, and they offer certified training. Need a lift? Stack it, breach it, lift it. Levitt.
I want you to stay in my life, in my life.
Every year, when you support Full House Lottery, you support the lives of 1.1 million patients and their loved ones. Your ticket brings world-class care to the Royal Alexandra and University of Alberta hospitals. And that makes every Albertan a winner. Thank you from Full House Lottery.
AMTA, the voice of Alberta Highway Transportation. The AMTA now has 2 simulators in daily use, our static trainer in Edmonton and our mobile training unit out of Calgary, which allows training at the transportation companies themselves. These are invaluable tools, honing driver skills for shifting, banking, or hazardous road and weather conditions, all in a controlled and safe environment. And that translates to better safety on our roads. Introductory pricing of $30 per hour. Alberta Motor Transportation Association.
Helijet flies between Vancouver and Victoria, as well as Vancouver and Nanaimo. Day or night, rain or shine. Plus free parking and shuttle service at all terminals. Take off today by calling 1-800-665-4354 or click helijet.com.
Bob Dale Gloves WHL Central is brought to you by Bob Dale Gloves. Found online at bobdalegloves.com.
And welcome back to Brandon, where after 20 minutes of play, we're still looking for our first goals between the Thunderbirds and Wheat Kings in Game 2 of the WHL Final, here with Wheat Kings defenseman Ivan Provorov. And Ivan, how much did you like your Game 2 first period as compared to Game 1 first period here, and a little bit more urgency, it would seem?
Yeah, I think we're playing better offensively, defensively. We had a way better start. We're playing our game right now, so if we're going to keep playing our game for all 60 minutes, goals will come.
How important is it for you guys to play with speed?
Yeah, we're a fast team, big. If we play with speed, I don't think anybody can play with us. So that was one of our strengths in our game. So if we play with speed, we're a really good team.
Find there's a bit more of a battle level, too, to get underneath the T-Birds, big defensemen, and test Landon Bowe a bit more?
Yeah, like I said, if we play with speed, I don't think anybody can play with us. We got to grind down low, get them tired, and funnel pucks, more shots on net.
How much hungrier are you and perhaps your teammates, especially after a quick exit in last year's WHL final?
Yeah, I think now we know what it takes. We experience from last year has been really helping us this year in the playoffs and the regular season. Yeah, I think we're hungry. Second time in the finals, now we know what it takes, and hopefully we can get it this year.
How much fun are you having playing in front of Jordan Paperny, and how much confidence is he giving your team?
Yeah, he's a great goaltender. He's our best player every night. Competes hard. He gives everything that he had. And, he's a great goaltender. He's a big part of our team.
Ivan, thanks for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Andy Neal, let's head over to you. Ivan Provorov playing his 37th playoff game for the Philadelphia Flyers draft pick.
All right, thanks very much. Two big thanks to Ivan as well back here at Bob Dale Gloves, WHL Central. And also hello to those of you who are watching south of the border tonight on Root Sports. Please be joined with Jeff Odgers. Kelly McCrimmon last night. Jeff, after Game 1, wasn't crazy about his team's start in the first period last night. What about tonight for the home side?
Well, I think Kelly has to be happy with the start. He knew Seattle was going to come back with much the same effort they had last night. And, to their credit, they did. Seattle came out, threw everything they had them again. The Wheat Kings had their legs going. They created some great scoring chances. And if it wasn't for Landon Bowe, very easily could have had a couple goals. So for Kelly McCrimmon, as a home coach, he's going into the dressing room. I'm sure he's satisfied with the effort they had. And he's saying, now let's build on that, see if we can have the same second period they had last night also.
And what about for Steve Konowalchuk on the other side for Seattle after that first period?
Well, I think this first period was huge. Seattle obviously got outplayed very badly last half of the second period and the third in overtime, and they need to prove themselves they could bounce back and compete against this Brandon Wheat Kings team, and they did exactly that. They came out, they created chances, they stayed physical, which I liked. They didn't back off, give them too much respect. Another breakaway by Kevin Leff. Jordan Paperny had to come up with some huge saves to keep it close. So you know what? I think both coaches, home and away, had to be happy with their effort, and now it's just a matter of adjusting for the second.
Well, let's go back to last night and Game 1 and the pressure that Brandon put on in the Seattle zone.
Well, they did. The Brandon Wheat Kings, as that game went on, they got their legs underneath them, and they were relentless. We're going to see here Nolan Patrick coming in on the forecheck, battling for pucks all over. Puck came in, and that's Mitch Wheaton. Not only do they forecheck with their forward, but their defense are coming down, causing all kinds of havoc and Seattle had a tough time with it. Now we see here, they back off, they give Brandon a little bit more time and space, too much respect. What happens? They make plays, goes to the net, ends up in their net. So it's kind of a catch-22. You don't want to overcommit and get beat, but if you back off, they have the skill that's going to make you pay.
One of the things that Steve Konowalchuk also talked about after Game 1 was turnovers from his own team.
Well, and that is so huge against Brandon. If you have that puck on your stick as a Seattle Thunderbird, you cannot give it up. You're going to see some examples. Here's Smith with an opportunity. He gets the puck stripped, comes out in the slot for a chance there. Here's a battle one-on-one. Brandon wins the battle. Jace Howard all over everybody last night. And once again, a little communication with Landon Bow, a little bit of a mishap. Give the puck to the Brandon Wheat Kings. You can't do that. The Brandon Wheat Kings, you have a turnover, all of a sudden you're chasing again for 30 seconds. There's Barzal, their best player. You have to move the puck quickly. And you know what? I think that's just part of getting up to speed. I'm not sure if the Seattle Thunderbirds have faced that kind of pressure in the playoffs. They've had a great playoff run, but this Brandon Wheat King team, so deep up front with so much speed, it just keeps coming in waves. And I think, as you can see in the first period, Seattle's made the adjustments they need to make.
And adding to that depth for the Brandon Wheat Kings is Tanner Kaspick, who has now scored in 3 of the last 4 games for the Wheat Kings and the overtime hero last night.
Well, you can't help but like Tanner Kaspick. Tanner Kaspick comes in, he's a hometown guy from Brandon. He does everything he's asked for. He's physical. He finishes checks. He kills penalties. He plays in that power play. He's an energy guy. He's not going to quit. He's relentless, and he has a bit of an offensive touch, too. This comes on the playoffs. He's scoring some big goals. Here we'll see him go in the net, those dirty areas for a tip. And then all of a sudden, last night, the biggest goal of this series, great hand-eye coordination, knocks it out of the air. Tanner Kaspick, great player. Also, Eastern Conference nomination for Scholastic Player of the Year. Flew to Calgary before the series started. WHL Scholastic Player of the Year. Tanner Kaspick, a lot of things going for him, and his stock only upping in the NHL draft by his play.
Inside the WHL with Jeff Odgers. We'll take a quick timeout here in Brandon. The scoreless tie in Game 2 of the WHL Championship on Levitt Machinery. WHL on Shaw.
Whether you are sharing a moment, putting a plan in motion, or pushing through, you need your body feeling its best. Manitoba Chiropractors, giving you the power to move forward.
The Alberta Chambers of Commerce.
Sometimes somebody does have to speak up and advocate for a certain direction, whether it be economically or politically. And the Chamber is one of the organizations that does that.
It's a really good support network in terms of learning, development, and just sometimes camaraderie.
It's a diverse group in both age and gender and also in business styles.
The Alberta Chambers of Commerce, where members matter and benefits count.
Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Catch the NHL stars of tomorrow today. Shaw TV is home to the 2016 WHL playoffs. The journey will start with 16 teams and will have all the hits, the saves, and the goals until one team is crowned WHL champions. For complete playoff broadcast information, visit shawtv.ca or whl.ca.
Hi, I'm Don Taylor here at Levitt Machinery, inviting you to watch Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw.
Helijet flies between Vancouver and Victoria, as well as Vancouver and Nanaimo. Day or night, rain or shine. Plus free parking and shuttle service at all terminals. Take off today by calling 1-800-665-4354 or click helijet.com.
The WHL. Raise your odds of playing in the NHL. Over 20% of all NHL players got their start in the WHL. The WHL. Raise your game.
Well, the Brandon Wheat Kings leading this WHL championship with Seattle 1-0, but still waiting the icebreaker tonight here in Game 2. Welcome back to Bobdale Gloves WHL Central. After 15 seasons at the Pacific Coliseum, the Vancouver Giants announced earlier this week they will have a new home for 2016-17. And we had a chance to catch up with the owner and governor of the Giants, Ron Toigo, about the move from Burnaby to Langley.
Well, Ron, we're here at the 2016 WHL Bantam Draft, an exciting day for the Vancouver Giants, who just had 2 first-round picks. But a couple of days ago, even more excitement on the news going to Langley. What was the big driving force behind moving away from Pacific Coliseum to the Langley Event Center?
Well, it was a lot of things that went into it. The demographics, where all the young families seem to be moving to, and where the growth is in the community, where the growth has been in our season ticket base. And, the size of the venue, the building is certainly a huge driving factor of it. And, how excited Langley Event Center was to get us there, and all the things they've done to get us there, it just made a lot of sense.
You had to play there during the 2010 Olympic Games in Vancouver. What was the response like then, and was that the seed, or what was the seed that was planted in order to make this move happen?
Yeah, well, actually, that was not a great experience for us, because we sold out every game, but the first game, the traffic was a nightmare, the parking was a nightmare, and so after that, the other 3 games was probably half full, just because it was such a hassle. But since that time, they've added 800 parking stalls. We went through a very detailed logistics plan on how to manage traffic. Going to add another exit onto 200. The RCMP are going to manage the streets, so they'll shut it down to get people out. So it'll be a lot different than it was at that time, and we feel very comfortable that the access in and out will be, quite easy. And since that time, the new Port Man Bridge has gone in. The new connector roads have gone in. The access to that area is as good as anywhere, and it's a lot easier to get there than it is to get to the Coliseum.
5,200 and change, plus standing room right now is the capacity at the Langley Event Center. Are you thinking about adding more? I understand that you can, or do you like where it's at right now?
Well, we want to go through the year and see how things go, how the concessions work, how the parking works, all the traffic. But from an engineering perspective, you could add probably another 1,000 seats. And so we're going to look at that, but we want to make sure that the experience for our fans is as good as it can be before we start going down that road.
What about atmosphere and how important that is?
Really important. And, I went to a Vancouver Stealth game there, and it was like 2,500 people there, but the place was loud. It was, a lot of atmosphere. So when you put 5,000 people in there, it'll be real home ice advantage, and our guys will, feed off of that. That gets your adrenaline going. That's got to be good for, 3 or 4 wins a year.
Wanted to ask you about where the search is. You're still without a general manager and a head coach. How is that coming along?
Well, we have a lot of candidates, but really we've put a lot of focus on getting this building deal done, and then the draft is, so by next week we can, start really focusing on getting that done. But it would be nice to have it done by the end of the month, but we've got to make sure it's the right fit, it's the right guy, and because we don't really want to go through what we've gone through the last couple of years. Stability is so important in any organization, in any business, and continuity and all those things are essential to having success. So we're going to get it done, and there's some really good candidates out there, and we might have interviewed the guy already that's going to be the guy, but there's a few more people to talk to.
Appreciate the time, Ron. All the best the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Our thanks to Ron Toigo joining us at the WHL Bantam Draft. So here are the other league championships on the Bobdale Gloves out-of-town scoreboard. Rune Noranda. The Huskies, the #1 team in the QMJHL this year. They actually suspended Game 2 last night because of a leak in the refrigeration system, but they're up 2-0, finishing that game with a 4-1 win. And the London Knights with a hat-trick from Matt Tkachuk, one of the top prospects for the 2016 NHL Draft. 6-1, they're leading big over the Niagara Ice Dogs, already leading that series 1-0 in that OHL championship and playing right now in the 3rd period of play. And for all information on the Western Hockey League with exclusive news content and ticket information, www.whl.ca. And here in Brandon, still awaiting the first goal tonight in a scoreless tie, headed to the 2nd period on Leva Machinery WHL on Shaw.
Bobdale Gloves WHL Central is brought to you by Bobdale Gloves. Found online at bobdalegloves.com.
The College of Medical Laboratory Technologists is the regulatory body that oversees the education, training, and conduct of medical laboratory technologists in the province. MLTs perform lab tests and interpret results to assist health providers with the diagnosis, management, and treatment of disease. If you have any concerns about the qualifications or conduct of a medical laboratory technologist, contact the CMLTM.
So, how's the new house coming along?
Not bad. I mean, all this mortgage stuff is a little confusing. More confusing than that ridiculous shirt you've got on.
Have you not talked to a broker?
Nah.
You need to do that, man. Think of them like this grocery store. The banks can only offer you brands from their aisle, but a mortgage broker can access brands from more than one aisle, ensuring you get the best value.
Finding the right mortgage for your needs can be complicated. You need an expert. Visit amba.ca.
Looking for big city amenities with small town charm? Consider the city of Wetaskiwin. Our community offers affordable housing, a regional hospital, and a world-class aquatic center. Make Wetaskiwin your city of opportunity.
Nestled near the Hills of Peace is a community where nature comes alive. A 17-acre lake within walking distance of the historic downtown is home to a diversity of wildlife. Looking for peace and tranquility? Make Wetaskiwin your city of opportunity for an afternoon or forever.
Landon Bowe awaiting his return to the ice here. Period number 2, just a few minutes away, Bill Wilms. In the first period, shots on goal may have been even, but you don't really feel like it was an even period, do you?
No, Seattle had one scoring chance. It was nothing but pressure by this team. And, when you talk about giveaways, number 5, Tishka, we're not going to pick on 6-year-olds. We already talked about him being going to be a great hockey player. He was the first one. Quenneville was a chance. This is Matthew Wedman, far right of your screen. Another 16-year-old forward throws it up into that area where it's picked off. And what happens again? The Vikings, they smell blood, boy, when they get that puck into that offensive zone, especially on a turnover. Why don't you watch something here? This is a shorthanded chance. This is Provorov. Now, he's number 9. If he's going to get to that spot there, you got to give him time to get back. Watch how the Brandon team forces the Seattle Thunderbirds to play in first gear. They want to get going, but they can't. By the time they get going out of their own zone, Provorov and everybody's back there. Here again, the pressure as a unit. One turnover there. This was late in the period. You're going to see a couple turnovers. There's going to be another one right there, picked off perfectly. You got to believe the Seattle Thunderbird team thinks that the Brandon Vikings have got too many men on the ice. What's going on? We can't get it out. Boy, that is a different first period from the other night. Nice job by the Brandon Vikings in period number 1.
Landon Bowe, very good. Steve Konowalchuk just finished a very animated, and I mean animated, conversation with the 2 officials in front of the bench. And some laughter on the Wheat Kings side. Veterans Reagan Vetter and Pap. And
I don't know if you're a lip reader or not. I couldn't tell what he was saying.
I read the lips for a few things, but I just as soon not mention them on television.
Yeah, it's a home show.
It is a family show. Second period underway here in game number 2 of the 50th Western Hockey League Championship Series. Keegan Kolesar finds the trailing Jared Hoff. Hoff returns the favor. Kolesar blocked by Provorov. And Duke backhands it ahead for Magali. Tim Magali cuts to the middle and an excellent one-on-one play by Ottenbright. Mitch Wheaton. Good lead pass. Magali with Quenneville on right wing. And quite a collision involving Ottenbright and Quenneville remains down. Hope he's all right. Be a huge loss for Brandon. Niles, he scores! For the second straight game, the Grenfell product opens the scoring.
You wonder if that big hit inside the blue line where Quenville was knocked out of the play results in a chance going up the ice the other way. Kevin led, a little bit of carelessness there by the Wheat Kings. Heads up play. He wasn't even looking where he was going to go with that puck. Didn't telegraph it for 1 second. Watch this. No way. Well, that answer with a great pass and a great shot and a quick release. Niles, that second line has been terrific. This is just about 15 seconds before. Terrific hit by Turner Onbright. And they came right up the ice right after that and buried their chance.
Donovan Niles, who opened the scoring shorthanded last night, has his 4th of the postseason. And the Thunderbirds strike first.
Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw has been brought to you by Levitt Machinery. Online at levittmachinery.com.
Now take one more look at that, Pete. That's a pretty heck of a wallop that Quenville takes by Ottenbright there. And as that puck is corralled by the Seattle Thunderbirds, let me tell you, they go right up the ice and deposit it right into the Brandon net.
Shot by the youngster, Stelio Mateos, the first overall Bantam pick out of Winnipeg.
What a transformation for Steve Konowalchuk's team in the second half of the season. Boy, at the halfway point, they had goaltending issues. They solved that. Their road record was awful. They solved that. They had second line issues. They solved all 3 of them. And that second line has just opened the scoring here for Seattle.
Kaspick to James Shearer. Shearer in his first year as a Wheat King. The Wheat Kings with 14 players on the roster that participated in last year's championship series when they were swept by the Kelowna Rockets. They have the lead in this set. Landon Bowe can't cover it, side of the net. Hoff with his long reach, taps it to the line, but not out. Good work by Thompson to keep it alive. Mateos trying to center it, he does! Loose in front, and Kaspick drives the net, and Bowe forced to dive on the loose biscuit.
It seems if Landon Bowe is on the ice, I shouldn't be laughing, folks, but it seems like when the goaltender is on the ice, somebody's landing on his head. Why do I find that funny?
I'm not quite sure. I know who does it. 30 in blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Or this guy.
Or that guy right there.
And the referees didn't like it either.
He's got a point.
Tanner Kaspick's going to the penalty box as a result. And for the second time in the game, the Thunderbirds will enjoy the power play.
What an opportunity. Kaspick 16. Well, he gets a little bit of knee and everything else are on both.
Ethan Bear, a rolling puck. And that one makes its way over the glass and out of play. They voiced their displeasure here in Brandon. And Steve Konowalchuk's team during the course of the regular season, 4th in the league on the power play, 23.4%. They've operated at just 16% in the playoffs.
Well, the guy in the face-off circle, Barzal, has been in on 44% of the Seattle goals in the playoffs.
He has 19 points and the puck as he backhands it for Bear. Quickly relays it. Drop couldn't handle it, and Provorov with an excellent pass. 2-on-1 shorthanded. Patrick, he scores! Some kind of shot by the 17-year-old.
It's a great play by Provorov, and you know, when you look at the shot by Patrick, this play is going to be broken up and picked up right there by Provorov. And Pete, I think everybody in the rink knows that that shot's coming. Why is that so hard to stop? He gets so much on that. The water bottle felt the brunt of that. Look at this. Kaboom, and you know, Bowe's at the top of the paint. Bowe is a 6'5" goaltender. He doesn't give you a lot of net. We're tied at 1.
Short-handed goal by the Wheat Kings. Their 6th of the postseason. Nolan Patrick, his 12th of the playoffs. And we're tied at 1 early in this second period. Clegg steals and enters the zone. Cale Clegg, and that's blocked up by Ethan Bear. Nolan Patrick, a leading candidate right now to be number 1 overall in the NHL draft, not this June, but next June. He leads the playoffs now with 26 points.
Unreal. At 16, he would have been a first rounder. This year, he'd have been a top 10. I agree with you, Pete. Next year, he's number 1 overall in all likelihood.
I'm not sure if there's many goalies on the planet that stop that shot.
Exactly.
Patrick fended off by Scott Answer. And Smith to Answer. He's forced at the line by Urkamps as we send it again to Stu Walters.
Thanks very much, Pete. Yeah, Steve Konowalchuk, you mentioned he was animated coming out after the first period. They're talking to the officials, animated once again at giving up the PK goal, or on the power play to Brandon. Obviously, he brought over his first unit power play, told him to wake up. They thought they were getting called off the ice. He said, get back up out there and wake up, execute properly. Just wake up right now, you guys, as you see the execution, passes going errant, etc. They need to pull their socks up.
27 seconds left on the power play. The Wheat Kings have scored shorthanded. They also led the league during the regular season in shorthanded goals with 15. Here's Barzal to Answer. Right back to Barzal. His shot from close range, and Paperny with another quality stop.
Good positional save, but Matt Barzal, he was asked once if he ever gets nervous. He says, I've never been nervous in my life. You know, when Boston picked those 3 guys in round 1, at 13, 14, and 15, he was available for the Islanders. They didn't have a pick in the first round. They traded Griffin Reinhart to Edmonton for their pick at 16, and they took Matt Barzal. Not the biggest guy, 6 feet, 187, but man, oh man, is he clever.
2 goals and an assist in Finland for Canada at the World Junior Championship. 88 and 58 regular season games, and now 19 more in the postseason. Magali with Duke. Reed Duke tried to return the favor, but Smith in good position. Big bump on the Seattle goal-getter, Donovan Niles, and Answer knocks that out of midair, and now he wants a piece of Big Mitch Wheaton, a one-time 6th-round pick of the Detroit Red Wings.
You know, Scott Answer talking about Matt Barzal. The practice rivalry with Matt Barzal for Scott Answer has really been something. They go at it pretty good. It's been great for both players in terms of what they have to bring. And, you know, they even went head-to-head in the World Junior when Barzal played for Canada and Answer for the USA. So that Answer has been really a factor for this hockey club. The Tasmanian Devil, as some people think he's aptly nicknamed.
In many ways, I think he's the true motor of this group.
Well, he certainly is of this line, and it'd be hard for you to watch as a teammate, watch him play and not want to pick up your level of intensity. I agree. Hey, isn't that interesting? Couple number 8s.
Couple in number 8s, indeed. Alexander True has Calvin left. Left wrist shot, rebound. True pokes at it. Still a little separation when the whistle was blown. And more pushing and shoving as this series continues to heat up. These two teams only played one another once during the course of the regular season, Bill. And that game resulted all the way back on the 27th of October. So it had been a long time. And in that game, Seattle actually won it 7-2.
In Seattle. Here they come. This is True. This is left. Kevin Leth. He's going to get that shot. You know, this season, Kevin Leth had 6 goals for Seattle. 6 when he played at Swift Current. Last season at Swift Current, he had 6 goals. This year in the playoffs, he's got 3. But he's still a very valuable member, the 6-foot, 180-pounder from Tabor, Alberta.
Jordan Paperny. Another solid outing to begin game number 2. Magali in behind Quenneville. Good to see him back after taking that huge hit moments ago. There's coincidental minor penalties to Thompson and Leth, so our first 4-on-4 activity of the evening. Ethan Bear, I think he'll be in the mix to play for his country at the upcoming World Junior. To Barzell, his shot, not a lot on it, stopped by Paperny. And Magali finds Quenneville. He was a World Junior member for Canada this year. Groff to Barzell with a little room to operate. He's dangerous. Wheaton forces him back, finds Hoff, a blast. And look where Paperny is again, Bill. Right at the top of his crease.
It had to be. That shot was so telegraphed, that's where you want to be. But this is what happens with Barzell. You think you have him, pulls up, finds somebody. And again, when that pass went from Barzell back to the blue line of Hoff, you know what? This is a key right now for Paperny to get out of the net, get up in front, make sure you see the puck and make the save.
61 regular season assists for Barzell, who sees the game as well as anyone. Howryluk trying to make his way to the middle of the ice, and Jared Smith would have none of it. Boy, I've liked how number 2 has played tonight. The other number 2's been pretty good. Wheaton for Patrick. Bow leaves it behind the net, but Howryluk's right on top of his man in front. Patrick had a chance for another. And foiled by Landon Bow.
Yeah, I agree with you. You like the play of Jared Smith, the 20-year-old from Surrey. Again, a bit of a turnover here. Where does this puck end up? Well, you got to pin your man, especially if it's Howryluk. But back to Jared Smith for a minute. You know, he suffered that appendix issue. He underwent an appendectomy in the Everett series. Did you hear that, Pete? He got back in 4 days. Doing the normal recovery is 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know about you, but me, I heal slower than an ecosystem. There's no way that I'm coming back that quick. But boy, oh boy, nobody heard of anybody coming back that quick. And he's a big guy.
I'm not even touching that health comment right about now.
Let's leave it.
That's tough with a capital T. Let's say that. Missed 1 game.
That's it.
That's ridiculous. Ottenbright takes a wallop from Tyler Coulter. Coulter, number 21 of the Wheat Kings, finished the year on a 17-game point-scoring streak, trying to add to his playoff totals, but his backhand shot was blocked. As his stick being held up in front by Ottenbright, and then he gives Ottenbright a tap. Maybe more of a tap. Here's Barzell on right wing. Finds Bear off the crossbar. A blast by Bear, and he rings it off the bar.
What an offensive gem this guy's been, and I agree with you. Ethan Bear has a great chance at playing for Team Canada next year. That's the chance that he gets off the par. Look what happens in front of the net here, folks. I mean, that stick isn't stuck. It's being held, and then he gives him the business. Ouch! That hurt. And then right after that, they go up the ice and that puck off the crossbar.
Not hard to see why Ethan Bear scored 19 in the regular season from his defensive position for Steve Konowalchuk's crew, and he's added 6 more already in the playoffs. He was an inch or 2 away from making it 7 and restoring his team's 1-goal lead. It is icing the call as we played nearly 7 minutes of period number 2 in game 2. Again, we want to welcome our viewers south of the border watching us on Root Sports.
The Edmonton series, Jordan Paperny was 9-2-1. Moose Jaw 8-7-2, took a pretty big dip. He's worked his way back. Red Deer 8-9-4. Nice start last night. He had a 9-3-9 save percentage in that 3-2 win in overtime for the Brandon Wheat Kings. It's important for Paperny to establish a good save percentage.
Bear drops it for Groff. The Rangers' second rounder is Ottenbright behind the net out of the reach of Barzell. Keegan Kolazar, Bear, a wrist shot of a rolling puck, missed by 4 or 5 feet. Ottenbright blocked in front by Thompson. Jordan Thompson. Stopped up at the line, and here comes Kolazar. Thought about leaving it, now does for Barzal. Tight turn. Barzal into the high slot area, spinning, lots of traffic. Still with it. Leaves it for Bear. Returns the favor. And Urkamps to Magali, and out it goes for Mateos, who overskates it. And the puck off a body and in to the Wheat Kings bench as you get a look at the captain, McCoy Urkamps, who came over in a trade from Lethbridge a couple of years ago. And the leadership will tell you a lot of a player who didn't start his career here with the Wheat Kings.
And you know what he said has helped him immensely offensively is the fact that when he makes a pass, he wants 2 or 3 strides of hard push after that. And that's obviously for 2 things. You can get the puck back, or you get in a position to join the rush.
Provorov, the most points, 73 in the regular season. Urkamps right behind him with 71. And here's Provorov. Not a clean glove save, but a save nonetheless by Bo. Donovan Niles, his 4th. Nolan Patrick, his 12th here in the second period. The reason we're even at 1. Game 1 went to overtime. Won by the Wheat Kings. Left. Still with it. Wrist shot, and Paperny stops Calvin left from about 5 feet.
I see another good save there by Paperny. Let's take a look at the save percentage round by round. The guy that just made that save in round 1. You have a look what he did against Edmonton. We talked about that. Look how about Landon Bow? How consistent is that? 9.35, 9.37, 9.35. And last night he was 9.28. Pretty solid goaltending by Landon Bow and Jordan Paperny. Paperny trying to pick it up, but Bow definitely been fantastic.
Paperny attended the rookie camp of the Edmonton Oilers in September. At the other end, Bow attended the camp of the Anaheim Ducks. Mitch Wheaton up the high glass and out to center where Brandon Schulthouse clears it in. Wheaton to Cale Clay. Just missed Quenneville in the neutral zone. Duke to Magali, who has to wait for Quenneville to get onside, and he does. Quenneville in front. Had Reed Duke streaking toward the net, but it was broken up, and here comes Scott Enser. Backhands it in. Volkin after it with Clegg. Enser to a loose puck, but it's tapped away from him by Duke, and back comes Magali. Magali chips and chases. Bear off the glass, smartly and out. Really good pace. Once again, here in Brandon, where the Wheat Kings are looking for their 3rd ever Western Hockey League crown. Their last one coming in 1996. Their first in 1979. One of the great all-time teams to ever play. If I had a vote, they'd probably still be number 1. There's a tough one hopper handled well by Paperny. That 78-79 Wheat Kings team went 58-5-9, 125 points.
Would you say they were a tough out?
Oh, they were incredible. Schumacher. Prop, Allison, Boschman, Brad McCrimmon. The list goes on and on. Had a 29-game unbeaten streak that year. Puck scooped into the zone as Wedman and Schumacher make their way off, and Provorov heads up the ice with Hauerluck. Jace Hauerluck, a wrist shot off a body into the corner. And a penalty for roughing going to Turner Ottenbright. Questioned by Barzal, but Brandon about to head to the power play. In a 1-1 tie, Niles, Patrick, the goal getter.
Saskatchewan Indian Gaming Authority operates 6 First Nations casinos in Saskatchewan. For more information, visit siga.sk.ca.
Before and after the game, Tony Roma's offers casual family dining. Tony Roma's, a family destination, legendary ribs, and famous for so much more.
Hi folks, Don Taylor here. Need a lift? At Levitt Machinery, they sell, rent, lease, and service machinery for your material handling needs. And they offer certified training. Stack it, breach it, lift it. Levitt.
With Thunderbirds head coach Steve Konowalchuk. And Steve, you're leading in shots here. How do you like your road effort so far?
Well, I think, overall, I think it's a tight game, and we're pushing the pace a little bit at times. They're coming back at us. It's a tight game. I think it's going to be just continuing to make sure we're trying to put our foot on the gas pedal and forecheck.
Are you managing the puck better? That was one of your big complaints in the final period of Game 1.
Yeah, I think the mindset's a little bit better here, where our first instincts, let's get it in and go to work.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Guys.
Boy, what a hit here by Turner Ottenbright on that far right of your screen. He delivers 10 feet, if that, in front of the referee. Takes his man Harlick to the ice. He's going to spend 2 minutes in the box because of it.
Second power play of the game for the Wheat Kings. They are 0 for 1. 1 for 6 of the series. The Wheat Kings 23.4% during the regular season. They were 4th in the league. 20.3% in the postseason entering tonight. And they send out Patrick, who has their goal with Howrlick, Provorov, Coulter, and McCoy-Erkens. Provorov changes places with Erkens. Patrick into the slot. Howrlick, great kick save by Bo. A beauty. Smith ties Erkamps up in a knot. Coulter digging into the feet of Jared Hoff. Back to the line it comes for Erkamps. Looks to tee up Provorov. Thought about it. Back to Erkamps. He fakes it too. Howrlick now. Provorov. Patrick saucers it to Provorov. Returns it to Nolan Patrick. Patrick off of Howrlick, and it goes wide of the target. Coulter in the slot. Provorov, one touch. And Provorov didn't get all of it the way he wanted to.
Ivan Provorov must have waited about 30 seconds for that play to happen. He had his mind all made up. When all this traffic around the net kind of subsides a little bit, if there's any space near the front, I'm going to go for it. Here he comes. There's the shot. There's the save. Watch his reaction. You can't believe it. He was in an absolutely prime A1 spot. I don't think he got everything on it. Got enough of it, but nice save by Bo.
Provorov scored 21 times during the regular season, has 3 in the playoffs. And has an assist on the Patrick short-handed tally tonight. Clegg tries to send it back to Quenneville, intercepted and sent the distance. Thunderbirds an excellent penalty-killing team. Wheat Kings just enter the zone. Magali off the boards. Quenneville able to keep it in. Clegg. Reed Duke scored a power play goal one night ago. Heads to the front. Duke again. Stopped by Bo, who I believe got the right pad to foil Reed Duke.
Earlier the chance came, we showed you, from Provorov all alone. This time they penetrate a little closer. Look at the play that they get right into the top of the paint area. Good feed from the back wall. Reed Duke gets into that. Watch him enter that zone. Here he comes right there, and that puck just scoots wide. Again, there's so many ways that the Brandon Wheat Kings have to attack the net on the power play, but Pete, this Seattle team does kill penalties exceptionally well. They make you earn your chance.
86.2% in the playoffs coming in to the night. And they've killed off another as Ottenbright comes out of the penalty box. Here's Kolazar. Nice move in the neutral zone. Driving, finds Barzal. Paperny down drop. Oh, it was loose. It was loose. And the Wheat Kings dodge one right there. And look where Konowalchuk is.
You know, I've said this so many times, Pete. The three things you have to have when you play in here, for one thing, is you got to make sure you handle the momentum swing. You have to make sure, there you go, the whistle clearly went before the play. But you got to handle calls that go against your team, and you got to keep your emotions in check. That's a must in this building. Boy, again, good puck movement. Kolazar, probably the only one that saw where that puck was. He wants an explanation. And one more look. Paperny, one side to the other. You got to love the way he goes from post to post and in the top of the paint. But you see the referee in a perfect spot? No question. He lost sight of the puck. He had to make that call. One of those calls that goes against you. You've got to survive that in this building.
Keegan Kolazar, third-round pick of Columbus. A 30-goal getter during the regular season. Thought he had another here in the postseason. Barzal with Gropp and Kolazar. Gropp, a good high wrist shot that just went over the bar. Kolazar bent down to hold it in, just went by him. In a 1-1 tie in period 2 of game 2. The Wheat Kings lead the championship set 1-0. And that makes its way up and over the beams here at the Westman Center.
You talked about Keegan Kolazar, third-round pick for Columbus. Pete, at the Combine last year, he had 7.9% body fat. Now that was 6'2", 220-pounder. He's lost some weight. They say that guy looks like a 24-year-old football linebacker, and yet he's one of the fastest players on the team. Really, really in shape. Told the training staff, he says, when I go to the Combine, I'm going to kick it there, and he certainly did.
Doesn't he fit the bill of everything you would want in a power forward?
Absolutely.
Size, strength, skates, good hands. Thompson out of the reach of Hauerluck. And the faceoff will come back deep in Wheat Kings territory.
And you know, Kolazar, season improvement, which to your point, Pete, he went from 2 goals to 19 to 30. 30 goals this season, and this is the thing I like about him. 30 goals plus 100 penalty minutes.
3 of those 30 goals came in the lone regular season meeting of these two teams back in late October. Ottenbright a shot through traffic. Not sure Paperny saw it, but it went wide. Hauerluck battling a bouncing puck. Finds Patrick away from Ottenbright. Back to Hauerluck, and he got all spun around. Patrick jamming away. That came loose. And now a mess in the Seattle crease.
I haven't heard it described.
You can't keep from chuckling.
No, it is a mess. But you know, you got some big defense in here for Seattle, team in blue. You add to that a 6'5" goaltender, and you got a lot of beef in there, folks. And again, is this a quick whistle? Well, the puck's loose. The whistle's blown. Wow.
Landon Bowe has certainly been under duress. And for the 3rd time in the game, a hit on the goaltender, this one by Tyler Coulter, results in a Wheat Kings penalty.
Well, he's pushed initially, but he certainly made sure that he's going to get his money's worth for the push. Watch 21. He's pushed in, and then Coulter says, you know, I got to pound on you. I got some unfinished business in this brief area.
Last time Seattle was on the power play, they gave up a Nolan Patrick shorthanded goal. Ethan Bear whines and fires, and Paperny makes the save and does not allow a rebound.
You know, I wonder if Landon Bowe, and some, I don't want to say resentment, but you got to remember, when he played in this building, game number 1 at the start of the season, He was fantastic. He made 53 saves that night on 54 shots. It was a 2-1 shootout win. Obviously, he was a number one star. He was playing for Swift Current at the time. Well, I'll tell you, this Wheat King team says, you know what? You're not going to beat us again without us being at least in your, in your crease area.
Oh, they've come to the kitchen.
Boy, they have.
With knives, forks, spoons.
The chef.
They brought the Ginsu tonight. Barzell finds Colzar, puts on the brakes. Bear to Jarrett Smith. As they play catch. Smith. He hits Ryan Gropp with a wrist shot. Gropp now in the corner. Gropp, a power play goal one night ago. Barzell maneuvering down the right wing boards. Smith. Barzell. Pass a little hot to handle. Gropp in the corner. Shoveled back towards the line where Smith takes over again. To Ethan Bear. He'll walk the line. Into the corner. Gropp pressured by Provorov. Smith. One-timer well wide. Now Paperny involved in some traffic. Bear hits Hauerluck, who's in the shooting lane and did an excellent job to block it and cleared to the neutral zone by Magali with 35 to go on the man advantage. Barzell can't clear it in. Enser off the bench for the tail end of the power play. Barzell remains out to Jared Hoff. He carries in. Bumped by Provorov and Duke. Smart outlet to Urkamp, and up the ice he goes with it. And it sticks right where the Zamboni door is. In this period in the Seattle end of the ring.
You know, a game that's tied at 1 in last night's game as it was in overtime. You wonder if sometimes it doesn't come down to depth scoring. Might be an issue. Barzell's got 19 points. The next scorer for Seattle coming into this series was Enser with 10. Brandon has 5 players, Pete, with 20 or more points. Sometimes these kind of games comes down to that. But let me tell you, that last Seattle power play, there wasn't a way in the world that Brandon Wheat King was thinking about a shorthanded chance, as we saw in the first period. That was some solid power play action by the team in blue, the Seattle Thunderbirds.
Donovan Niles has the lone T-Bird goal. And he's just offside. Donovan Niles, an 8th round Bantam pick in 2012. And boy, has he progressed in a very nice way during his career.
Yeah, he's part of that line. There he is, Donovan Niles. Big throw for him. You know, he's a Bantam 8th rounder, like you said. The team practiced at his Grenfell Arena in his hometown. And, you know, teams will do that, especially the Seattle team. They'll go on that road trip. They make sure they visit the hometown of some of the kids and actually hold a practice there.
I wonder if they're still the Spitfires. I believe they were the Grenfell Spitfires.
Now, you got to be the only guy in this arena that would know that.
No, I wouldn't be, because I bet you there's several folks from that fine town in attendance.
It's up to Highway 1.
Kaspic, he's from Brandon.
I forgot. I thought I was in Seattle for a minute, Pete.
It's all good. We're all good.
Just kidding.
Mateos protects it well out there with Kaspic and Campbell. Kaspic, excellent work. Engineers a chance and backhands it just wide. There's a young man who gets better and better. He represented Canada, Kaspic did, at the Ivan Holinka Memorial Under-18 tournament in a gold medal-winning effort in August. So did Cale Clegg. Coulter up the boards. The return pass from Hauerluck, who's from nearby Roblin. Bear in behind Gropp allows Urkamp to keep it in. Bear chopped it off the shin pads of Hauerluck, and that nearly caused a large problem. Hauerluck off of his stick to Provorov. Knocked out of the air by the high stick of Patrick. Schuldhaus decides to play it. And Barzell taps it in behind Provorov. Now Kolazar with Gropp. And an excellent play to come over and break it up by McCoy Erkamps. Solid piece of defending by the Brandon captain. Just over 2 to go in the second period. We got another gem. Delighted you've joined us on the Western Hockey League on Shaw. Brought to you by Levitt Machinery. Peter Lubardius, Bill Wilms, Stu Walters, Jeff Odgers, and the great host, Andy Neal, one of the best in the business, is Brandon offside.
Well, you look at your captain to obviously be one of the leaders, and you know you got Provorov. Watch him. He's number 9 chasing. That's a defenseman. That's Erkamp's partner. Look at him back him up. He takes a big man into the boards, and who's there to pick up that little bit of loose puck that Erkamp's created? The number 9, Provorov. Nice job by McCoy Erkamps.
Bill, the first time I ever watched McCoy Erkamps was on TV. He was playing for BC at the 2011 Canada Winter Games. They won the gold medal. Other players on that team, Sam Reinhart, Nick Patan, Curtis Lazar, Kyle Burrows, Jackson Whistle in goal. Some team. And he was a part of it.
Nice acquisition. He and Reed Duke over from Lethbridge.
They won that gold medal in Halifax. He wants to win a Western Hockey League title. John Quenneville nearly stripped by Alexander True. When Canada and John Quenneville and that group met Denmark at the World Junior, Alexander True scored the lone goal for his country. Hot right. Off the stick of Quenneville, and it bounces to Niles, who scampers his way in with Enser. Niles heads to the front of the net. We're into the final minute of period 2. Enser out of the corner. He turns a shot. And an excellent glove save by Paperny.
He just is the motor that just keeps going. He keeps buzzing. Look at the intensity in that face. Look at that. You know that intensity, you can only imagine what his face is looking like right there. He's intent on one thing and turning, spinning, getting that puck on the net. What a nice hockey player from Englewood, Colorado. He's only 5'8", Pete, but he probably feels and thinks he's about 6'2".
Steve Konowalchuk did not have him for a decent amount of the season due to both injury and his time away with the United States at the World Junior Championship. He only played 55 games.
Back that line of Noyles, Vulcan, and Enzer, they're 5'8", 5'9", and 5'10", and they're just going all the time.
Ethan Bear from Barzell hits Enser with his shot attempt, and Hauerleck clears it down the ice. Played the bank and the condition of the ice perfectly to make sure it wasn't icing. And Barzell and Provorov in the same area again as Kolazar comes over to have words. And now Bear away from the scrum, involved with Hauerleck. I guarantee you, and I mean this in the most respectful, nicest way, Jace Hauerleck, if his middle name isn't Dennis, it should be. Because this guy is a straight-up menace.
Yeah. Now, there's some guys on this. In this series, you've got those intensity guys that you're talking about, Pete. And the beautiful thing is about it, you got two teams loaded with some wonderful skill as well.
Second round pick of the Florida Panthers in 2014. Ryan Groff. Leanne boards with Kolazar, right back to Groff. Good outlet out of the pile by Magali. So smart. And the buzzer brings to an end the second period as the two teams trade goals. Been very little to choose in the first two games between these two punters.
But if I'm Coach Connor Walchuk right there, I'm going to the dressing room saying, guys, that's a better period. We've slowed that team down a little bit. We're not losing. We're tied at 1. We got a chance to win this in the third. Nice job by both teams.
Someone who always does a nice job, Andy Neal.
All right, thank you kindly, Peter. Coming up in the second intermission, we will hear from Seattle forward Matthew Barzal. Inside the WHL with Jeff Odgers and the Wee Kings super fans. One for each side in that second period. Still knotted in game 2 from Brandon on Levin Machinery. WHL on Shaw.
Ketchup and mustard containers are just as happy in your blue bin as they are beside your barbecue. Find more information about Multi-Material Stewardship Manitoba and how you can recycle something new at simplyrecycle.ca.
I think I've always been telling stories for as long as I can remember, and so I got to this position by just continuing to find really interesting things that are happening in my community.
For the complete interview, go to globalnews.ca. Loren McNabb.
Hospital's Lottery, in support of the Red Deer Hospital, is back with their biggest lottery yet. 465 prizes valued at more than $1 million. Electronics, vehicles, and an incredible heli fishing adventure in BC. And the grand prize, a unique cottage-style dream home built by Sorrento Custom Homes, valued at $799,000. Make this year the best it's ever been. Ticket deadline is June 19th. Don't delay. Call now or visit hospitalslottery.com.
Dale Gloves WHL Central is brought to you by Bob Dale Gloves. Found online at bobdalegloves.com.
And welcome back to Brandon, where after 40 minutes of play, it's all knotted up at 1 apiece between the Brandon Wheat Kings and the Seattle Thunderbirds. Here with Thunderbirds forward Matthew Barzal. And Matthew, are you guys executing your road game plan through 40 minutes to your liking?
I think we've had some really good segments throughout the last 2 games. 5-6 minutes going really hard, but kind of let our details slip a little bit, here and there. So we just kind of need to play 20 minutes a period and 60 minutes a game.
Is this a tug of war out there? Is this what you expected? And is there still a feeling out process between these two teams in just your third meeting so far this season, regular season included?
I wouldn't say there's a feeling out process. You see a little bit of bad blood already. Sparking up, and it's been a really good pace. I mean, obviously they have a really skilled team and they're playing hard, so I think we've done a pretty good job with adapting to their pace, and just need to close out this third period and get another one.
Is it important to keep the pace up but maybe not get in a track meet with the Wheat Kings? Is there a difference?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, they have so much skill up front. Their rush game is real strong, so got to limit that as much as we can, and kind of play our game.
Just 2 playoff losses so far. What has allowed you guys to play so well overall, and especially on the road?
I don't know. It's a combination of a lot of things. I think it's just kind of everybody bearing down, playing like it's the last game of our season. So every game at this time is so big, and you got to bear down on every play.
Finally, how much confidence are you playing with leading the team in scoring in your 30th playoff game here tonight? Does the experience help?
I mean, they're doing a pretty good job of playing me real tight and just trying to find space out there. But, had a few more chances that last period, and hopefully my line can get one this next period.
All right, Matthew, thanks for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, Matthew Barzal leading the Thunderbirds in scoring with 19 points so far this postseason. Andy, let's go about 15 feet to my right. We're not sharing microphones tonight. Here's Andy Neal at WHL Central.
All right, thank you kindly, Stu. Bob Dale Gloves, WHL Central, alongside Jeff Odgers. We just heard from Matthew Barzal, who has 19 points to lead the way for the T-Birds, 88 during the regular season, and buzzing tonight. What do you think of that second period in a 1-1 tie?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you didn't enjoy that period, you are not a hockey fan. That was unbelievable hockey. You know, swings back and forth, a little bit of compete, a little bit of nastiness, and just when you think momentum could swing, you know, goaltenders come up huge. Landon Bull, some absolute huge saves. Jordan Paperny with some big saves, and, you know, a shorthanded goal by Nolan Patrick. What a player and what a shot. Knocks the water bottle almost off completely. So it had a little bit of everything. I love the compete level, you know, and I love Seattle not backing off either. They just keep coming at Brandon. They do not want to relapse of last night where they let Brandon's skill, speed take over the game. They keep competing. Excellent period.
That line with Barzal, Ryan Gropp, and also Keegan Kolazar, that's the big offensive unit for the Seattle Thunderbirds. But Scott Einzer, Donovan Niles getting together on their first goal tonight, the impact that they've had, what has it been? And Niles has scored now in back-to-back games.
Well, you need that. You talked about secondary scoring, or other guys contributing. That line, and they can play. Niles left. Those guys have speed. You know, they can get in on the forecheck, and they got great offensive skill. They're guys that compete in the playoffs. They got that grit. They're a Steve Connor-Walchuk type of player, and Seattle to have success, they have to have that scoring. Their first line's got to play well, but their second and third lines have to keep up the Brandons.
Well, the Ontario Hockey League Championship was going this evening, and London has taken a 2-0 series lead with a convincing win over Niagara. 6-1 was the final, and they're being led by the top unit, Mitch Marner, a Toronto Maple Leafs draft pick, Christian Dvorak, who was drafted by Arizona, and Matt Tkachuk, who's one of the top prospects, and they've done a lot of the damage with Tkachuk getting 3 tonight.
Well, they have. Coming into this series, they had 60% of their team's goals, and when you look at what they've done tonight, as you mentioned their stats, but here's just a view of some of their, see a goal there by Tkachuk, just the vision they have, the feel for where they are on the ice. You know, 3 guys, they're their top 3 players on the team, and they all play in the same line. And you know teams load up defensively against these guys, and they still get it done every night. You know, here's Tkachuk. Look at that move. You know, he's not even drafted. The confidence to try that move, and Dvorak there to clean up the rebound, but, you know, we see Nolan Patrick here tonight. He leads the team with 26 points, leads the WHL in scoring. Mitch Marner, 41 points. Tkachuk, 39 points. The OHL record is 51 points. I think they'll run out of games before they have a chance to break it, but, you know, the pace they're on is unbelievable and very entertaining to watch.
And they're up against Josh Hosang, was a first-round pick of the New York Islanders. All kinds of talent with him, but character issues have been one thing that's been plaguing him or following him throughout his hockey career. But what about for him and some of the issues that he's got?
Well, you know, unfortunately for Josh Hosang, got sent home from the New York Islanders, you know, slept in, missed some meetings. They decided to send him back to junior. But you're right, the guy has unbelievable skill off the charts, great vision, 63 assists this year. You see him scoring a goal there, 63 assists this year, and the vision he has, and unfortunately for him right now, the guys he's setting up aren't scoring goals. You know, Harper scored tonight. He needs to be better. Matone needs to be better. There's guys on that team that have to pick up and finish his passes. You know, and when you have a team like London that scores as many goals as they do, you know, you lose 6-1 tonight, you're going to have to score a minimum 3-4 goals just to be in the ball game against London.
We're a little tight for time. Ruin Noranda has taken a 2-0 series lead. Chase Marchand in goal has been terrific for them.
Well, he has. You know, he's got 954 save percentage, 1.17 goals against. A little view of what he does. You know, 6 shutouts in the playoffs. You name it, what he's done. Round 2, they lost the first game. They came back, won 4 straight. He gave up 1 goal in the next 4 games. So, you know, when you got a goaltender that plays like that, it's tough to beat.
So they're up 2-0 in their series with the Shawinigan Cataracts. Here in Game 2 of the WHL Championship, it's a 1-1 tie down for the third period here at the Keystone Center. Here on Levin Machinery, WHL on Shaw with a look inside the Seattle Thunderbirds dressing room.
I'm not just here to fluff your pillow. I'm not just here to take your temperature.
I'm not just here to hold your hand.
We're here because we worked hard to get here. We're here because we can help.
All registered nurses in Manitoba are educated, experienced, and a big part of your care.
Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Catch the NHL stars of tomorrow today. Shaw TV is home to the 2016 WHL playoffs. The journey will start with 16 teams and will have all the hits, the saves, and the goals until one team is crowned WHL champions. For complete playoff broadcast information, visit shawtv.ca or whl.ca.
Hi, I'm Don Taylor here at Levitt Machinery, inviting you to watch Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw.
The Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Available at Lone Star Mercedes-Benz. Current offers at LoneStarInsider.ca.
Getting to play against the best competition there is for 16 to 20-year-olds, and what many consider to be the best junior league in the world is why I love playing in the WHL.
Each of these 40 pucks represents 1,000 Albertans living with Alzheimer's or other dementias. Here's how you and the NHL alumni can help fight this battle. Support the Alzheimer's Face-Off Hockey Tournament, April 30th to May 1st at the Terwilliger Recreation Center. Donate today. The funds raised go to Alzheimer's research. Get in the game. Research gives us hope for tomorrow.
Donovan Niles scoring his 4th of the postseason and has scored in back-to-back games, opening the scoring for Seattle. And then Nolan Patrick with a gorgeous shorthanded effort, his 12th of the postseason. He's scored in 3 straight games, 1-1, headed to the 3rd for the 2nd consecutive game of this WHL championship back here at Bobdale Gloves, WHL Central. The atmosphere here at the Keystone Center, it's been real loud, and the fans have been led by 2 of their most colorful fans. And Kevin Hirschfield tonight introduces us to Sonny and Sizzle.
Brandon Wheat Kings fans are louder than ever. A dynamic team on the ice and a dynamic duo off it. Meet Sonny and Sizzle, Brandon's super fans.
Last year in the playoffs against Edmonton, we noticed that game 1, the crowd was kind of dull. They weren't really into it. Game 2, we tried to get the crowd into it just as ourselves. It was kind of working, but it wasn't, and we thought, like, what can we do?
Originally, the pair dressed in bacon and eggs costumes to support an in-house Smitty's promotion, before recently switching to the all-gold gear.
All right, hey, you ready? You ready? Let's go, boy. You know what? Vancouver's got the green men.
Snatcher with a little push. He's laughing at the green men.
So why don't we go as the gold men? Your Swiss cheese, bud! Your Swiss cheese! I mean, it was supposed to be a 2, 3, 4 game thing just to kind of try it out. But, you know, with the kids loving us, we decided, you know what? Let's keep it going.
It's exploded. And as vocal and outgoing as they are during games, they choose to keep their identity a secret.
Do you know who Batman is without watching the movies? You don't know who Superman is either, right? I mean, he puts a pair of glasses on, tucks that little hair curl up, and you think he's Clark Kent. But, you know, people don't know who we are, and we want to keep it that way. Batman and Superman, they have secret identities, so do we.
I'll make this clear, though. I'm Batman, you're Robin. Let's just make that clear.
No, you're Batman, I'm Superman.
No.
This is a partnership, all right?
And the Wheat Kings seem to be feeding off them. The team is 18-1-1 with Sonny and Sizzle in the crowd, and they've clinched a spot in the Western Hockey League final. The 2 bid the Red Deer Rebels a fond farewell after the Wheat Kings knocked them out of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Championship.
Start the bus! Start the bus! Start the bus! Hey, Sonny, you're better with Calgary, bud! Start the bus! Start the bus!
They bring so much to the environment and to the atmosphere, and we absolutely love having them and all of our hardcore super fans, but especially our superhero fans.
And do they ever know their team?
Johnny Q's going to get a shorty on this penalty kill, I'm telling you right now.
Patrick, 2-on-2, he comes out of the ice with Quenneville. Patrick across the line, gives off to John Quenneville. With a wrist shot, he scores!
Johnny Q with a shorty!
2 fans hoping to play a part in bringing 1 title back to Brandon.
Let's get loud, let's get crazy, let's get switched on, and let's win. Let's win the Ed Chenoweth Cup, and let's go to the Memorial Cup. Am I right? Yeah.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Bobdale Gloves out-of-town scoreboard. The London Knights with a 6-1 win over the Niagara Ice Dogs. They've outscored them 10-2 to take a 2-0 series lead in the OHL Championship. Rouyn-Noranda Huskies up 2-0 on the Shawinigan Cataracts, a 4-1 decision in Game 2 of the QMJHL Championship. Player of the week in the WHL, Nolan Patrick of the Brandon Wheat Kings, 7 points in 3 games, came into this evening, 8 points over a 3-game point streak, and now it's 9 over 4 with his goal that came in the second period. Third period is on the way next. Peter, Bill, and Stu in a tied Game 2 on Levitt Machinery, WHL on Shaw.
Bobdale Gloves WHL Central is brought to you by Bobdale Gloves. Found online at bobdalegloves.com.
Tony Roman's, serving its signature ribs for 40 years. With an expanded menu including steaks, chicken, and seafood, Tony Roman's is a family dining destination. Tony Roman's, legendary for ribs, famous for so much more.
Welcome to Select Fluid Power, home of our brand new state-of-the-art cylinder repair and hard chrome plating facility. With a fully equipped hydraulic cylinder repair shop, Select Fluid Power is your one-stop cylinder repair shop. Open 7 days a week, serving Western Canada.
Crown Isle Resort and Golf Community offers year-round outdoor golfing, accommodations with in-room jacuzzi, timber room bar and grill, and real estate opportunities. More info at crownisle.com.
Hi folks, it's me, Don Taylor, way up here with my friend Murph. At Levitt Machinery, they sell, lease, rent, and service all these machines, and they offer certified training. Need a lift? Stack it, breach it, lift it. Levitt.
Oh. Yeah. We be brushing. Yeah. We be brushing. Yeah. Check it out. We be brushing. Yeah. We be brushing. Yo. We be brushing. Yeah. We be brushing. We be brushing. Yeah. We be brushing. Yo. We be brushing. Yeah. We be brushing. Yeah. Brush.
Well, they're having a great time in the truck, they're having a great time in the building, and we're having a great time. And here we go again, tied going to the third period.
Amazing.
And there's been a little of everything in this game, lots of physicality, and our first 2 goals.
Yeah, I mean, the first one is a Turner Ottenbright hit. He basically takes John Quenville right out of the play, right in that spot there. Watch the hit. Now, with him down, with Quenville down on the ice, the Seattle Thunderbirds know that. They stretch the puck. They come up the ice. Now, when Enser gets it right here, watch it, stop it here, the very top of your screen, that is Quenville trying to get off the ice. They're playing a man short, far left of your screen, open ice. It's exactly where Noyles goes with the puck, and the pass from Enser, it's in the back of the net. Really nice job by Niles to make it 1-0. Again, we've seen this so often. Watch what happens in the crease of the Seattle Thunderbirds. Kaspic on top of everybody there. And then again, on the penalty kill. Nice job by Provorov to force a play to the outside. On the left of your screen, when Groff mishandles this pass right there, he's on his backhand. It goes to the wall. That's the cue for 2 things. For Provorov to get it, for Patrick to get up the ice. They complete the pass beautifully. Now it's a 2-on-1. If you're going to let your goaltender take the shot, you better make sure it's somebody that's not firing it as hard as Patrick is, because he's going to bury it. Watch the water bottle on this. He's not even thinking about making the pass. There it goes. It's in the back of the net. It's a shorthanded goal, and we're tied at 1.
Nolan Patrick's 12th of the postseason. Draws the Wheat Kings even. You take a look at the shots. Scoring chances, as you just heard from Bill, far more one-sided. But Landon Bowe, who's had a lot to deal with in his crease and in the shot department, has been as good as anyone in the game. So third period is underway. Will Brandon take command tonight, or will we head to Washington State in a 1-1 tie? Quenville from Provorov. Tries to chip it by Jared Smith high in the air. Knocks it down with his glove, dealing with Barzal. Magali there for puck support. Barzal trips his man up and outlets the puck to Groff. One-on-one against Urkamps. Urkamps squeezes him off. And Magali is there to find number 20. Relays it to Tyler Coulter. Coulter chips and chases. He might get a chance here, but Ottenbright with a stick in the way, and Coulter was at a bad angle by the time he retrieved his own dump in. Niles, who has the Seattle goal, his second of the series, cutting by Wheaton, drives the net, it's loose, and Paperny able to take care of it.
Levitt Machinery is a proud sponsor of WHL on Shaw. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Boy, you got Enser, you got Volkan, you got Niles. This is Niles going hard to the outside. This is their second line. He gets it into the paint area. A lot of focus there by Paperny. Nice job. By the way, I want to talk very quickly about Otbright and Bear on that shift. 2 guys for Seattle, 2 guys that played midget for our own Jeff Odgers. He coached both of them. What a nice job, obviously, he done with those 2 guys playing in Yorkton.
Did he ever? Great to have Jeff Odgers with us. A lot of different emotions for him tonight, for sure. Former players, his former junior team. Quite a night. And a penalty upcoming. 1:17 in the period. It's going to be a tripping penalty. And the Wheat Kings will make their way back to the power play for the 3rd time in the game.
Yeah, Coach K cannot be too pleased with this. A tripping penalty, an offensive zone penalty. That's pretty clear possession of the puck. I have no idea why there was any danger of taking your man down in that situation. That's Enser. He's around the puck. We know that. He's got to strip it. That's what he's trying to do. And in that process, what often happens, get the stick and the skates involved, and you're going to sit for 2.
Isn't that true, Bill? You get yourself on the wrong side, and then the reach, and
you're in a mess. Yeah, because you want to, you don't want to let the guy get away from you.
Clegg, Reed, Duke got all of it, but he didn't hit the net, and he's upset. His body language said so after the shot missed. As the Calgary product just missed his second of the series. Scored last night on a power play. Magali in tight quarters against Smith and left. Quenneville around the puck too. So's Hoff. Outlets to Alexander True. And down the ice it goes.
When they use Alexander True in various situations, I've seen him, number 16, play the power play. Seen him kill penalties, even strength. Very good player.
From Copenhagen, Denmark is Alexander True. Clegg upset as he's unable to keep it in at the line and now backpedals to his own zone. Duke gathering speed. Nice entry for Quenneville on right wing. Back to the line and Cale Clegg. He hit Donovan Niles with it. Clegg again, 1-times it. And it wasn't easy for Landon Bowe.
Landon Bowe's never been past round 1 in the Western Hockey League playoffs. Now he's in the thick of the WHL Championship Series and doing what he's expected to do for this team. I think Russ Farwell made a brilliant move when he got Landon Bowe. I'll go on record as saying, for my money, that might be one of the best moves he's ever made as a Seattle GM.
Would this team be in this spot without him?
Exactly.
I would say no.
He's been good. He's been everything they've asked for.
Paperny's been excellent in the series as well. 2-on-1 developing. True! A hard rising wrister that went over top of the net. Hoff stands up Patrick. Patrick to an open wing, and Brandon must clear the zone. Brandon winning game 1 here last night on a Tanner Kaspick overtime winner. 6:22 into the first session. Are we headed that way again? Patrick and Howrelick have other ideas. Patrick lost an edge. Coulter back to the line. Provorov and Urkamps. Kolazar on top of him, and now Barzal might get away with Kolzar. Ottenbright, the trailer. Barzell, backhander. Paperny couldn't catch it clean. He's out of position. Net wide open. Ottenbright, but he missed. Oh my goodness, what a chance for Turner Ottenbright. Paperny was in no man's land. Groff slips it in and did not get to center ice before he did so.
Paperny, a worthy drink of water because it was hectic right around his page area. You got Patrick on this turnover way back inside the Brandon zone. Can't handle that puck. And when he couldn't hold that in his glove, look where he ends up. That's mayhem, folks. You want your goaltender to maintain his body position after making a save? Well, check this out. He's scrambling, man. He's in scramble mode. It's all good.
Coles are on the outside of the net, and then Ottenbright, who does not score a lot, does have one in the playoffs, missed the target. Credit Paperny because he came back into the net in a hurry. And we're going to have another icing call, this time headed in the other direction. 4:05 into the third period.
Pete, the last time the WHL Championship Series for the Seattle Thunderbirds was back, as you've already mentioned, 97. I worked that series on radio for Seattle, and they got swept by Lethbridge. Seattle guys like Marlowe, Rick Barry, Torrey DiRoberto, Lethbridge, Byron Ritchie, Kirby Law, Chris Phillips, Shane Willis. I mean, that was, I remember it clearly, the men playing with the boys. And yet Seattle hasn't been back since.
It's been a long time. Patrick Marleau had 23 points in the playoffs to lead the Thunderbirds as a 17-year-old. Groff to Kolzar with Barzell. In front is Smith, and good stick by Reed Duke to break it up. Good read and good stick by number 27 of the Wheat Kings to save a quality scoring chance. Those little plays don't show up in the stat sheet, but they make a big difference. Here's Quenneville with that heavy shot, and he used it. Duke can shoot it too. Ouch, that hurt Kolzar. Backhand pass off Groff. Keep an eye on Kolzar. That's Smarks. Off the dasher. And it's Cale Clegg. Broke Dion Phaneuf's record for points in the Alberta Major Bantam Hockey League as a 14-year-old with 77 in Lloydminster. Coulter from the top of the circle, and Bo handles it. Here's Stu Walters.
Thanks very much, Pete. Yeah, it was third period in game one where Seattle went up 2-1 early, you'll remember, but then that's when Steve Konowalchuk thought his team took their foot off the gas and started to try to play too fancy. Of course, that's when Brandon took over, especially through the neutral zone, and we mentioned earlier where their speed allowed them to dominate territory. So Konowalchuk just wanting it to at least play that 60-minute consistent effort, thought it was a little bit lackadaisical in that final 20 in game one.
Thank you, Stu. Ty Lewis with McCorrister and Connor Gutenberg. This group's not seen a lot of ice, but when they have, I've liked what I've witnessed. They'll become fixtures here in the future. So will Matthew Wedman, who scored a double overtime goal against Kelowna to put them into this title series. And great play that time by Jordan Thompson to cut off Andreas Schumacher from getting to the net. Thompson from Wawanesa, in this fine province of Manitoba. Josh Urich calls Saskatoon home for Nick Holoko. Holoko stripped of the puck, shoveled, then backhanded, and just out by Thompson, as Lewis will take a small bump from Schulthouse and clear it in. Tishka. He forced his own goalie to make maybe the save of the night back in the first period. I thought it was Provorov, but it was not.
You know, you got to make a lot of saves as a goaltender, but I'm not so sure Landon Bowe thinks he's going to have to deal with a lot of this. First is Chase Harlech on top of him. And we're not just talking making contact. We're talking about absolute pounding the guy when he's on the ice. That was Kaspick. 21 ends it up right there with Coulter. They're certainly getting on top of that young man, aren't they? I don't know if they've come away with a pin yet.
Not yet. That hand is still in the air. You know when you've got the sleeper hold on?
Oh, yeah. Or you got to get him on his back one time. And then
yeah.
It looks like he's enjoying it. Will it wear him down? I don't know. I got no idea.
Well, Brandon's working on it. They know how good and how important he is to Seattle's success. And by the way, all three of those plays he showed resulted in penalties or camps. And Hoff with a block, and that took a bite out of him. Good to see Kolesar back. He was in discomfort after a block shot moments ago. Provorov to Coulter, backhands it deep. Ethan Bear up the middle out of the reach of Keegan Kolesar. And here's Provorov, who has an assist, and Patrick, who has the Brandon goal, and he tips it in. Tuesday night, the series shifts to Kent, Washington, and we'll have all the action for you on Shaw. Patrick upended. Ethan Bear ahead to Kolesar at the end of the shift. He'll shoot it in, blockered away by Paperny. Barzal remains out, but he loses the handle. Stelio Mateos to Tanner Kaspick. Cut off, and Holoko has left with him. And Barzal still on the ice. Now he goes off. Sharp angle. Bit of a tester from number 39, Nick Holoko.
Nick Holoko. You know the guy that says, hey, Don Taylor up here with my friend Murph, our Levitt commercial?
Yes.
Well, Donnie Taylor is that Nick Holoko's uncle. Uncle Donnie doing the promos for us.
I did not know that.
Yes, sir, Donnie Taylor.
Nick Holoko, part of a Bantam championship team with the Burnaby Winter Club that won the Western Canadian Championship in 2012. The star of that group, Matthew Barzal. One of the best hockey games I saw all that season was the British Columbia Bantam final between Burnaby and Cloverdale. 6-5. Final for the title. Barzal scored late. It was brilliant and features a lot of current-day Western Hockey Leaguers from both those teams. Parker Wotherspoon, Tyler Soy. The list goes on and on. Ty Ronning, Adam Musil. What a group. And there's going to be a penalty. Delay of game as Jared Hoff clears it directly over the glass and out.
You know, Pete, sometimes you get into a position like this right here. A guy in your face. You want the glass hard, but you're honestly a little bit panicking. You know that when you're bouncing it off the glass, you know that before you make that pass, that shot off the glass, you know in your mind, I might put it too high.
And that power play is going to last 3 seconds because after winning the draw, referee Reagan Vetter calls Nolan Patrick for interfering with Scott Enser's ability to get out to the blue line.
Yeah, right in that face-off circle. You see the time left. You wonder if 4-on-4 is not going to be the situation. There's an interference there, but how much, I don't know. But a 1-1 tie, I think both coaches will say, listen, let's put our top 4 on our squad for both teams out there and decide it maybe in that case, in that fashion.
Well, we'll do that for 1:57. It's the second 4-on-4 situation of the game. Bear, Ottenbright, Groff and Barzal, Provorov, Urkamps, Magali, and Quenneville for the Wheat Kings. Quenneville leads the playoff race in goals with 13, looking for 14, and zipped it. And I mean zipped it over top of the cage. Oh, can he deliver it? Barzal spinorama against Provorov, who fell down. Drop! That was blocked. Was out of sight for a second. Quenneville carries on with McGauley. And Bowe made an excellent play with his stick. Landon Bowe. No save. But it should go down as one. Enser operates in the other direction. One-on-one with Big Mitch Wheaton. And the former Kelowna Rocket and Blade. Now has it stripped. Enser thought about shooting it. He does now, and it's blocked. And goes in behind the net. Thunderbirds buzzing a little bit here, 4-4, and that'll be a penalty. Cross-checking the call. And the Thunderbirds are going back to the power play.
Well, he's a big guy. And you saw how excited right there that Coach Konowalchuk got, because it's simply now a 4-on-3. And this might be exactly what the Seattle Thunderbirds need. Here's exactly what happened. There's the cross-check into the boards by Mitch Wheaton. Look at his head. He knows his expression there. He doesn't even have to look the other way. But look at the speed by Barzal here. He's going to find somebody trailing. We showed you that in our open. And the play you just talked about the other end. This is just a very, very clever heads-up play made right here. Watch the stick by Landon Bowe. There. Great job knocking that puck in the corner.
Great read and breakup by Tim McGauley, the 20-year-old. Missed the first 2 months of the season with an injury. Signed by Washington back in September to an entry-level deal. Barzal lost his balance, and now Provorov taking full advantage. Bill, that's been quite a tussle to watch between those two the last 2 nights, hasn't it?
It sure has. Yeah, it's just fun to see that's going to continue, I'm sure. Well, listen to this crowd. They recognize that this is an important part of the game, 4-on-3. That's the guy you want the puck in 13's hands for sure.
Well, now it's 5-on-4. Kolazar just missed. Barzal had it hop over his stick. Tracks it against Clegg. In his feet. Great work by Barzal to find Bear. Wants a shooting lane. There is none. Now he'll try it. He scores! Ethan Bear has given Seattle a 2-1 lead.
Seattle Thunderbirds say, you know what, Nolan Patrick, if you can rip a shot on our goaltender, we can blast one back at you. This is Ethan Bear. He's going to get the puck 25. In the middle of all that, Matt Barzal, as he often is, a little tick, a little back, the one shot. I don't know how much screen there is in front. I think Paperny gets a pretty good look at this, to be honest with you. It just blows right past him. He can't get that glove up or that shoulder up fast enough.
A power play goal for Ethan Bear, his 7th of the postseason. And the Edmonton Oilers 5th rounder has the Thunderbirds in front. And now Brandon will make their way back to the power play as Powerlek was upended. Jared Hoff doesn't like it. Ethan Bear has given Seattle the lead, but don't go away. We've got a lot of time and a lot to decide here in Game 2. You're watching the Western Hockey League on Shaw.
Helijet flies between Vancouver and Victoria, as well as Vancouver and Nanaimo. Day or night, rain or shine, plus free parking and shuttle service at all terminals. Take off today by calling 1-800-665-4354 or click helijet.com.
Tony Roma's, serving its signature ribs for 40 years. With an expanded menu including steaks, chicken, and seafood, Tony Roma's is a family dining destination. Tony Roma's, legendary for ribs, famous for so much more.
Hi folks, it's me, Don Taylor, way up here with my friend Murph. At Levitt Machinery, they sell, lease, rent, and service all these machines, and they offer certified training. Need a lift? Stack it, breach it, lift it. Levitt.
That's 2-1, favoring Seattle. No scoring in the first period. Donovan Niles is going to take this pass there from Enser, make it 1-0 Seattle. A short-handed chance you missed all this, where you been, folks? This is too good a game not to watch. This is Patrick shorthanded. He ties it at 1. That's the end of 2. And just before we went to break, in that corner, number 13, Barzal is going to be a factor. To Bear, back to Bear. Watch the shot. Perfect timing, a one-timer. Ryan Groff in front, providing some screen, and it's a 2-1 Seattle lead. Talking about Ethan Bear. Connor McDavid, first overall pick for Edmonton, obviously. Caleb Jones went in the 4th round from Portland. Ethan Bear in the 5th round. You like those 2 picks, those 2 defensemen, Pete?
I do.
Get a look at the penalty here. And when you don't get a pick to the 4th round, and you pick up a couple defense in Caleb Jones and Ethan Bear, it's decent, isn't it?
I think it is. I mean, you've seen a lot more of Jones than I have, but seen a lot of Ethan Bear going back to his time in midget. And I think this young man has a chance, I really do, to play at the highest level.
Now, first things first now for the T-Birds. Brandon on the power play. Look out.
Patrick in front. Kicked by Provorov. The Wheat Kings look for an equalizer. Provorov just able to keep it alive. Enser trying to dig it free. Patrick, the 17-year-old phenom. And Calvin left. Intercepts and banks it down the ice. Provorov from Yaroslavl in Russia leaves it for Coulter. Coulter back to the line, and Urkamp dealing with a rolling puck. Blocked by Niles. Down low, Smith ties up Coulter, but Hauerluck frees it to Urkamp again. One touch. Provorov, Patrick. Good stick by Ethan Bear.
Boy, there's a case where the puck goes from Provorov to Patrick. You want that connection. You want to connect those dots all the time. But by the time Patrick's going to get this puck, watch it, he runs out of any option whatsoever. Here it's coming on his stick there. Look at it. Nice job by the Seattle team. Look at them all in good position. Nobody's going to get that puck. It's deflected off a stick up into the netting.
Patrick's father, Stephen, part of the first championship team back in 78-79. That great club that I referred to earlier.
You know, his sister's playing at the UBC women's hockey team as well, Patrick.
Some pretty good bloodlines.
Boy, you bet.
Uncle James wasn't a bad hockey player either. Quenneville fired it, and Bo again with Magali providing the traffic. Makes the save, does not allow a rebound. 34 seconds remaining in the penalty to Jared Hoff.
13 goals by John Quenneville in the playoffs, and they've been a lot of big ones, a lot of important ones, but he couldn't get a bigger lane for Bo there. Sees this completely all the way. I don't care how hard you shoot the puck from that point. If you're stationary as a goaltender and you know the guy's drawing the stick back, you should be able to make that save every time.
Quenneville had scored in 5 straight and points in 7 in a row in the playoffs prior to last night's game number 1. He loves this time of year. Pass off left again, and Ottenbright broke his stick but was able to clear it.
Left right in the face of Quenneville. Nice job again on the penalty kill.
These are 2 quality teams. Duke with great speed. Bear a bump on him. Ethan Bear on the power play as Seattle in front with his 7th of the postseason here in the 3rd. This is quite a scrum. Brandon wins possession. Clegg, Magali, and he had room on the short side. And Bo came across, and down the ice it goes, and that Seattle penalty kill, it's been so good all season, comes through again. Colzard of Matthew Barzal, who weaves his way through the neutral zone and twists back. And he ends up icing the puck in the process. He doesn't like it, but that's the call.
Pete, you watch the offensive pressure here along the backboards right there by the Wheat Kings, okay? Now, when that puck comes out of there, it's got to go back to the point. And once it's back at the point, you can't telegraph the shot. You got to walk the line and get it back to somebody open. Exactly what happens. Magali fans on it. He's got a lot of net to put that puck into. Clegg realizes that, doesn't telegraph the pass, and the Seattle Thunderbirds breathe a big sigh of relief.
Ivan Provorov with his 11th point of the postseason. Clean face-off win. To him, a wrister. Not sure Bo saw that until the very last second and stopped it. Campbell back out with Kaspik trying to drive the net, and Ottenbright in perfect defensive position.
You know, this is, again, little things you talk about, Pete. This is such good defense that watch how this puck simply slides into the crease with nothing happening there. That's an easy save. That's all they want. In fact, not even a save. It's just a cover. But all of that happened because of some very, very good sound challenges by that team in blue in their own zone.
It's been an awfully difficult team to score against, and the Wheat Kings have been an awfully difficult group to keep off the board. And Bill, I'll leave that for you when we have a little bit more time. 2-1, Seattle in front, trying to even the best of 7 Western Hockey League Championship Series at 1. A 2-3-2 format. And the Thunderbirds would like to go home for 3 in a row. Even. Campbell working on Ethan Bear. Patrick into the corner against Kolzar. Hauerluck is there. Coulter reaching to his chin. Felt he took a high stick. Barzell behind his back, and Patrick steals. Patrick weaves into the zone to Hauerluck. Coulter open in front. Coulter from a sharp angle, and Bo handles that too. Mitch Wheaton, his shot goes wide. Hauerluck off a stick. Brandon buzzing for the equalizer. Under 6 to go in regulation. Bear intercepts, they score! Tyler Coulter as Bear cleared it off of him. And we're even again, this time at 2.
Ethan Bear, 25. Take a look. He's going to challenge there. There's the puck challenge. No, that's Ottenbright. But as that puck comes, I think it ends up on Bear's stick. Number 25, he's going to try to go somewhere with it. And where does it go? It goes right off the skate of Coulter. We're tied at 2.
Unassisted for Tyler Coulter, his 5th of the playoffs.
Well, I didn't see that kind of goal coming.
Last night, a 3-2 Brandon overtime triumph. Landon Bowe cleared it to the line, not out. Magali tapped away by the big reach of Jared Hoff. Left in neutral ice. His shot goes wide. Reed Duke backhands it in. He'll head off. 4:38 to go in regulation and a 2-2 tie in game 2. Enser off the end boards on the shoot-in. A crazy one for Coulter has us even after Bear had scored on a power play. Bear upended by Campbell. Kaspik tied in a knot by Ottenbright, but Campbell's going to sweep in front. And Enser defensively prevented the shot. Clegg, his shot loose in front, and Enser backhanded it out of harm's way just in the nick of time. Wheaton's backhand for his partner hit the referee. Cale Clegg, Patrick, tips it deep. And I guess he didn't get a piece of it.
Pete, the goal, I believe, is unassisted, but you get a couple Wheat Kings in pretty good position, to be honest with you. You know, they've got the puck in the corner. That's a good spot to start with. Get it into Patrick's hands. Never a bad play. But look at the 3, 1, 2, 3. Count the Wheat Kings. They're all around the net. And sometimes crap happens, plain and simple. Patrick's going to get it to the front. Bear has it on his stick. And Tyler Coulter's right in his face. It ends up in the back of the net. You can say that would never happen if Coulter's not in that perfect spot.
Might be a moment in this series we will not forget. Three and a half remaining. Patrick flips it for Hauerlock. Robbed by Bo. Oh, that's a huge save. Coulter, who just tied it. Backhand. Stopped again as there's Hauerlock in the face of Bo. Brandon with all the momentum right now. Trying to take a commanding lead. Urkamp's whistled it well wide. Quenneville, wrist shot. Bo got a piece off the glass in a dangerous place. Quenneville fighting after it. It's still loose and underneath Bo, who keeps it out again.
Peter, this might be the biggest momentum swing that the Seattle Thunderbirds have had to withstand. Bar none. There's the first chance by Hauerlock. It just gets crazy. Hauerlock gets another chance. Crashing, fighting off check. Puck is rolling. Bo with another save. Oh my goodness, it's just amazing. Here they come one more time. You know, and we were just saying that if the Wheat Kings were to have scored on that shift, the roof literally would have come off this place.
Holoko shovels it to the line. Bears backhander off the boards, intercepted by Magali. As they chant Bo here in the Westman Center. He's been terrific. So's the game. So's the series so far. Duke in front. Quenneville redirects it wide. Duke to the backhand. Can he get free? True won't let him. Pressure ensues. Quenneville blocked by Ottenbright. And back comes left with Holoko. Tried to return it. Missed left on the middle drive to the net. They dig after it in the corner. Answer is there. Niles is there. Answer is there. Smith now. Maneuvers. Backhander. Loose puck. Underneath Fernie. And somehow it squirts out of that scrum. This is something else. And it's still 2-2.
Peter, after that flurry of Brandon in the last minute, this Seattle team had to answer back with a momentum change of their own. Certainly didn't think Jared Smith would be the guy that would get that puck into that spot. What a job of turning it around, getting it in there. And where is it? Oh my goodness, Paperny's not sure. Referee has a good look at it. That's a big pad save. That's another save. Just put your head down and fight for pucks. Oh my goodness. This is Smith. This is impressive stuff. Moving it into that spot. But the 20-year-old defenseman. 5 assists. I'm not, you know what? That's all he's got in the playoffs. He almost put this team ahead.
Added number 6 tonight on the power play goal by Bear. Now he hits Nolan Volkett. Credit Paperny to keeping it out and keeping it at 2-2. Just over a minute remaining in regulation. Hauerlock. Urkamps in front and Hoff blocked it. Here comes Enser in transition. Donovan Niles hit Provorov with a pass. Enser has a little room and Paperny stopped him.
He's a water bug. Try to staple him to the wall is going to be hard to do. He avoids checks, gets a lane. Guy like Enser knows that when he comes out of that corner, he doesn't need a very wide three-way, folks. He needs that much room there. Paperny, nice job. Shoulders high, takes the puck up in that left shoulder, makes the save.
Steve Konowalchuk has watched Scott Enser scored 7 in the playoffs. 3 of them, Bill, have been game winners.
Yeah, twice on the road in Kelowna.
He had a quality chance seconds ago. Left. There was traffic there. And a little tap from Paperny to Urkamp saying, that's okay. That's okay, McCoy. You provided a little traffic, but I haven't.
Well, we have to take a breath maybe, huh? Bat in the hatches here, seatbelts on, 56.7 seconds left, face-off. So important. Matthew Barzal in the offensive zone, that's where you want him. But look, he's concerned about one thing, Barzal is, and that's playing defense.
Magali, Patrick heading to the net, tied up by Barzal, who did an excellent job. Matthew Barzal, we talked about that 200-foot game as he continues to work on it in our open. They needed all 200 feet from him there. Left, wrist shot into the glove of Paperny with 30 ticks left.
Pete, to your point, right off that faceoff, it was in the offensive zone. I said, Matt Barzal, good job to get him out there for that faceoff to the right of Paperny. And he had one thing in mind, and that was come back and make sure that his line, he wasn't going to get scored on. Did a nice job coming back. And that's the kind of thing you love to see from the New York Islanders first-round pick.
Barzal with a point tonight. Drew an assist on the power play goal in this period by Ethan Bear that put the Thunderbirds ahead 2-1 before the strange one by Coulter that tied it at 2. True against Kaspic. Important face-off. Thanks, Tips. With 30 to go as Coulter shovels it to the line. True one-on-one against Wheaton. Didn't get much on it, and Wheaton blocked it into the corner. Time winding down in game 2. Here's Smith. Shovels it down low. Enser and True try to dig it free. And for the second straight night of the 50th Western Hockey League Championship Series, 60 minutes, Bill Wilms, is not enough.
Well, it's all about momentum swings. It really is, and probably no game has exemplified a period the way that's happened in here tonight. Seattle with the 2-1 lead, and then Tyler Coulter, and the amazing pressure that the Brandon Wheat Kings exert after they tied the game is what's impressive. Hey, I want more hockey. These people want more hockey. This is too good to quit right now.
It sure is. The Western Hockey League's best on display, and they put on a show. More to come. We'll further analyze and then go to overtime. Next.
The Saskatchewan Indian Gaming Authority operates 6 First Nations casinos in Saskatchewan. For more information, visit siga.sk.ca.
Hey, Tyler. What's up? You need to talk?
Yeah, I really do.
Well, come on in. What's going on?
I think WHL is the best way to achieve your goal, and that's to play in the NHL, and it is the top league in the world, and you get to play against the best players for your age group and really develop into a man and a player quicker than most kids do. For me, I chose WHL, which is the best decision I could have made.
Distance gained. No walls to separate us and our home. Drawn deeper by the presence of no one and the essence of everything. Mother Nature's timeless masterpieces, stretching past the sky, and the edge of the world, calling us to explore supernatural British Columbia.
And welcome back to Brandon, where we're all tied at 2 between the Thunderbirds and Wheat Kings, heading into the first overtime here in Game 2 of the WHL Final, here with Thunderbirds assistant coach Matt Odette. And Matt, you're at the bench here. How intense is it out there?
Well, it's extremely intense. Obviously, 2 good teams going at it, 2 evenly matched teams. You know, a lot of motion, a lot of intensity. Couldn't have it any other way for the championship series.
Yeah, do you feel you guys are playing your game, your style?
A lot better tonight. Obviously, second half of the game, we're managing the puck a lot better. Needed to tighten it up there. A couple turnovers there last 5 minutes that led to that tying goal. But, you know, we're playing our style, getting it deep, grinding out down low. We got to do more of that in overtime.
Right, and when you say tighten it up, does that mean maybe doing a better job of even boxing out, not letting them get the grade A chances on both?
Yeah, for sure. They're great in the offensive zone, obviously great off the rush. You know, we got to get back checkers. We got to cover the house, pick up their loose men in front of the net, and do a better job there.
All right, Matt, thanks so much for your time. Get in there, look at some tape here, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
All right, Andy Neal, let's head over to you, WHL Central.
Thanks very much, Stu. Big thanks to Matt as well for joining Stu in the intermission as we get set for back-to-back overtimes in this WHL Championship Series here at Bobdale Gloves WHL Central alongside Jeff Odgers. You know, looking back, research, he can only go as far back as 1996. This is the first time that the Championship Series has opened with back-to-back overtimes. Kootenays with Current played an OT in 2 of the first 3 games, but the drama in this rink that we've seen, the third round against Red Deer and the first 2 games of this series has been incredible. What have you thought through 60 minutes tonight? And again, Seattle with the lead in the third period, and Brandon comes back.
Well, I think sometimes when teams don't play each other a lot, they, you know, it takes a while to build up the animosity and a bit of the game sense we have. But you know what? It's been right off the start. It started early last night's game, carried right into tonight's game, and it's back and forth. The guys leaving it all out there, guys going off exhausted after shifts. And you're right. It's just back and forth. Seattle thinks they have it in the bag. You know, a turnover in the back of the net. Then Brandon, you know, the momentum they had after the Coulter's goal, they just wouldn't stop. They kept coming and coming. But to Seattle's credit, they came right back. They had a couple great opportunities. Smith with a great opportunity. Defenseman comes in with some great composure. And it was just, you know, Seattle finding a way to stay in it, finding a way to battle back, which is huge for them.
How concerning do you think this is for Brandon? This is now the 4th game out of the last 5 on home ice in the playoffs that they've trailed in the third period. Now, they've won the previous 3 games, and they trailed again last night in the opening game in the third period when Ryan Gropp made it 2-1. But how much of this is a trend they really want to see stop because they're having to play catch-up in the final period on home ice?
Well, I think it was, you know, especially in the Red Deer series, Brandon had stretches where they completely dominated the game, and they just couldn't put it out of hand. Red Deer hung around, and were able to come close. You know, this game doesn't follow that. You know, Seattle's played them, you know, pretty much tit for tat the whole game. And I think Brandon's opportunities limited more in the third by Seattle, doing a great job defensively, upping their compete level. But, you know, Brandon, again, has opportunities to put some games away and just can't quite do it. Even with all their, you know, the power, the goal-scoring power, they just can't put it out of reach when they have the opportunity.
How about the goaltending tonight? Landon Bowe has been terrific throughout for Seattle, and then Jordan Paperny at the other end, late in the third period with some huge saves to keep it a tie game. The goaltending has been, this could be one of those battles within the war that really is going to be an interesting one over this best of 7.
Well, Landon Bowe, since becoming a Seattle Thunderbird, has been unbelievable. You know, save percentage through the charts. You know, they've only lost 1 game regulation in 30 games coming in. You know, that's incredible, and that's your goaltender, because you know there's nights where your team just doesn't show up, they're not ready to play, but your goaltender can't have that luxury. You can have a night off. You can't not be ready because the game's over. And Landon Bowe, you know, mentally has been there every game, showed up, kept them in it, and tonight, you know, the saves he's made, unbelievable, gives them an opportunity. They come back, and then Jordan Paperny too. You know, all around traffic. Smith comes in. How that stayed out, I have no idea. But, you know, Jordan Paperny matching Landon Bowe's effort, which is a great see. It's a great battle.
It's been a nice bounce back for Jordan, who was pulled in Game 3 against Red Deer. That was the first time he didn't finish a game in the 2016 postseason. But coming into tonight, a .937 save percentage in the 3 games prior to this game. And that likely goes up after this evening's performance as well.
Well, I think with Jordan Paperny, when you looked at his stats, you know, in the playoffs, most of his save percentage was around that 890, 880. You know, everybody kind of questioned, you know, the elite goaltenders have that 920, you know, 925 in the playoffs, and now he's there. since that little wake-up call, getting pulled, he is there. His save percentage is now where the elite goaltenders are, and he has to. Let's face it, you're playing against Landon Bow, who's pretty much unbeatable. The goal that Seattle did score, they pretty much scored themselves. Bear went to clear the puck off Coulter, put it in. But Jordan Paperny saved for Sabres Landon Bow, which is huge for his confidence.
It's interesting because Landon Bow started out with the Swift Current Broncos, so they've seen each other quite a bit, Landon Bow and Jordan Paperny. So head-to-head, they've had quite a few matchups between the two sides. And here's a look at how they've gone head-to-head so far. Landon Bow, this is the playoff record, 12-2, 13-4 for Jordan Paperny. And there are the other numbers. That goals against Landon is superb at 163.
No, and when you get goaltending like that, you have a chance to win. 12-1 in the playoffs coming in. Landon Bow, that just gives your team that much confidence. You have a bad shift, you have a giveaway. Instead of going back to the bench, hanging your head, giving up a goal, Landon Bow makes that big save, gives you that it just rejuvenates you, energizes your team, and the team really rallies behind him. When you have the confidence of a goaltender behind you like Landon Bow, it's unbelievable what you can do.
Ethan Bear scored his 7th of the postseason. He now leads all defenders in goals in the playoffs. He was tied alongside Cale Clegg with 6 going into tonight, but what about the goal that put Seattle ahead in the third period?
Well, it's a typical Ethan Bear goal. He's got that huge shot, and they look for him. He finds that spot in the middle of the ice, and Barzal so good at locating guys on the ice, and him and Bear have combined all playoffs for big goals on a power play, and Ethan stepped into that one. I believe it might have tipped off coming in, but he launched that shot. He's got a great release, a great shot, and Paperny not much of a chance on that one. So a huge goal for them in the power play. Special teams for Seattle, Brandon, with 5 power plays, unable to convert. And when you hold this kind of offense down with 5 power play opportunities to no goals against in a game, you are doing something right.
Sorry, Dave, didn't catch that. Oh, perfect. Well, this is the 9th overtime in this 2016 postseason. Let's take a look at the first 8 that have taken place so far. And for Seattle, this is their 5th, and Brandon is their 3rd. Here's a look at the first 8 in the 2016 playoffs.
Schumacher into the zone, left wing with left and True. Looking to drive the net, threw it on goal, knocked down in front. True backhanded tip, knocked off his stick. Has it near circle, skates and fires his shot on goal. He scores! And the T-Birds win it in overtime. Midpoint, winds and fires over top of the net. Rebound off the wall. Walker out in front. They score! Alex Forsberg, the overtime hero. Keeps on his stick, goes point to Smith. Fires a shot on net, blocked in front. Rebound, the shot, score! There it is! Nolan Volkin, his 2nd of the night. The T-Birds are on their way to round 2.
Susko back in for the trailer. Ballhorn. Here's the shot. Save! Susto has buried the Blazers, and the Rockets are headed to Victoria. Can't get a shot away. Sitting free, the right dot now. Turcotte, score! They did it! The Rockets have won! The Rockets have won! Can you believe it? The Empire strikes back!
He grabs it for the Wheat Kings and played it back down deep. Duke centering pass. Quinville shot!
Rod Quinville, the overtime winner here at the 2:53 mark.
Drop the center ice, feeds it. Here come the T-Birds onside. Wedman drives. Wedman back hit shot, and he will score! The youngster, Matthew Wedman, has sent the T-Birds to the Western Hockey League Finals for the first time since 1997. The Thunderbirds are your Western Conference champions.
Seattle line here. Into the zone it comes for the slot. Got a shot away over top of the net. Out in front. Tanner Catholic sucks it in as it came off the end glass and out in front. And he batted it home past Landon Bow. Tanner Catholic, the overtime winner here in game number 1 of this
WHL Championship Series.
Sonny and Sizzle were cheering loudly last night on the Tanner Kaspick winner. Who gets the winner tonight in Game 2 of the championship? Overtime still to come.
Bob Dale Gloves WHL Central is brought to you by Bob Dale Gloves. Found online at bobdalegloves.com. Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Catch the NHL stars of tomorrow today. Shaw TV is home to the 2016 WHL playoffs. The journey will start with 16 teams and will have all the hits, the saves, and the goals until one team is crowned WHL champions. For complete playoff broadcast information, visit shawtv.ca or whl.ca.
Hi, I'm Don Taylor here at Levitt Machinery, inviting you to watch Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw. Hi folks, it's me, Don Taylor, way up here with my friend Murph. At Levitt Machinery, they sell, lease, rent, and service all these machines, and they offer certified training. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it. Levitt.
Tony Roma's, serving its signature ribs for 40 years. With an expanded menu including steaks, chicken, and seafood, Tony Roma's is a family dining destination. Tony Roma's, legendary for ribs, famous for so much more.
All the fans again on the edge of their seats. The 9th overtime of the 2016 WHL playoffs, and back-to-back to open up this WHL Championship Series. Brandon won 3-2 last night on a Tanner Kaspick winner. Who gets the winner tonight? Meanwhile, in the QMJHL Championship on the Bob Dale Gloves out-of-town scoreboard, Rouyn-Noranda Huskies up 2-0 over the Shawinigan Cataracts. That game actually suspended. It started last night, but because of a leak from the refrigeration system underneath the surface, they had to finish it today. Game 3 goes tomorrow in Shawinigan, and London's a 6-1 winner over the Niagara Ice Dogs. A 2-0 series lead for the Knights in the OHL Championship. It's been a while since Peter Labardius has been in the booth. He hasn't missed a beat at all tonight, getting set for overtime with Bill Wilms. Gentlemen.
Thank you, pal. Here we go again, Bill. 2-2 going to extra time. And how did we arrive at it as a result of the third period?
Well, it starts with a power play here for Seattle. Now, normally what you see is some work in the corner there. And you're going to see it go back to the point to Bear. He's going to play catch with Smith. There's the shot. It's in the back of the net. But you watch number 13 here, folks. How hard he works. That's Matt Barzal. Just watch him. He's gassed. He's watching right now. He says, oh my goodness, I can't give it anymore. I gave it all I had, guys. I got it back to the point. He almost collapses in the celebration. Fantastic. Brandon ties it at 2. Harlan, Coulter, Patrick. Patrick does a pretty good job of losing his check on right. And then in desperation, he's going to lose the check there. It goes back in a little bit of a cycle. And here it goes to the front of the net in desperation. And look at how hard it goes off the pad, if you will, the shin pad of Coulter. That's not off the skate. That's off his leg because it hit something, got into the net in a hurry. That's where we're at. That's what we got to show you. There it is, third period stats.
Bears 7. Short time thereafter. Coulter's 5th. Second straight night. And for Steve Konowalchuk's team, third straight game they've played that has required extra. They won Game 4 to arrive here against Kelowna in double overtime at home to end that series on a Matt Wedman game winner, 7.5 into the second overtime. The Wheat Kings want command. The Thunderbirds, who are 3-1 in overtime in the playoffs, want to draw even. In front, Magali, a chance early, and shoveled it wide. Back comes Keegan Kolazar. He'll shoot the long wrister on Paperny if both teams make changes. Cale Clegg behind the net in hot pursuit. Patrick took a whack at the stick of Landon Bowe, and Wheaton will shoot it in, and the Wheat Kings will clear the zone as Bowe has trouble with it. And ironically, if we were to visit last night, it was a puck off the end glass that came back in front.
Look at him. He's checking that back wall right now.
That Kaspick scored on, and here it is.
Yeah, the eye-hand coordination. There's a shot by Campbell. And watch how he waits. Kaspick waits to the puck that's below the crossbar. Beautiful job of timing and eye-hand coordination.
The Brandon boy with a winner last night. Who will be the hero tonight? Provorov, tight turn. Powerluck. Off the board, Patrick finds Coulter, who sent this game here. Urkamp's big rebound, and Hoff had time and swept it to the end boards. Answer. 3 game-winning goals, no OT winners. That comes Coulter. Coulter, a wrist shot, goes over top of the net. Patrick, gloved down by Hawryluk. Jace Hawryluk to Cale Clegg. Patrick now, he has a goal tonight. Wheaton, wrist shot with traffic. Hawryluk, Brandon with lots of time in the attacking zone here early in the extra session, and there's Alexander True again with a good defensive play. He's done a lot of that, Bill, number 16 in blue. Oh, bad change. No icing. Jarrett Smith, who's been terrific tonight for Seattle, the captain, to Nick Holoko, and Wheaton squeezes him out. Clegg to Campbell, who drew an assist on that Kaspick game winner one night ago. Smith, dumped by Campbell. The youngster Mateos in the slide. Quenneville hammered it just wide. He has the other Brandon OT winner in these playoffs. The Wheat Kings are 2-0 in extra time. Quenneville ended that wild game 1 in the series versus Red Deer. McGauley just missed Duke Urkamp's. His wrister blocked, and now Ottenbright wants to clear and does. Bill, it looks a little like last night's overtime early.
Yeah, Seattle's got to push back, absolutely. They can't keep playing that puck in overtime where it is there.
Brandon had all 10 shots in last night's OT, but this man can change a game in a heartbeat. But Clegg played him well one-on-one. Here's McGauley. Smith and McGauley tangle up in the corner. Tishka, who just turned 17 in March, but he's a rookie and a 16-year-old by Hockey Terms. Kolzar to Calvin Leff. Leff in the corner, Kolzar. Now Matthew Barzell. Back to Ethan Bear. Kolzar in front, has it go off the heel of his stick. Barzell and Patrick. Kolzar is there. Barzell and Patrick, 2 stars fight for the puck. Coulter to Hawryluk, broken up neatly by Bear at center. And Ethan Bear settles things down. Off the linesman this time, as Niles dumps the opposing 19, Patrick. You don't like this, you don't like junior hockey.
Well, you got to keep your shit short. You just absolutely must know when to make a change on the fly.
Well said. Now remember, it's the long change for both in a sense, but this building's different. Campbell, Kaspick, kicked out by Bowe. Mateos, answer to the loose puck, and a nice outlet for Niles, who scored for a second straight night earlier. There's Enser keeping it alive in the offensive zone, wants to center it, blocked up by Wheaton. Groff with a nifty little move. Ryan Groff turning, looks it true, can't take it cleanly in the high slot. Holoko to Jared Hoff. Hoff moves in, blockered away by Paperny. First test that he's faced either night in the overtime sessions.
We know that the Brandon Wheat Kings are going to come out. They have home ice, obviously, advantage. They've won in overtime twice already in the playoffs in this building. But this is a good pushback shit. And Peter, they got to have it. The team in blue, the Seattle Thunderbirds, have to create some momentum. They cannot play back on their heels. They've got to be able to play on their toes. They've got to give Paperny some action. Timeout call. Like Brandon, I think.
The Brandon Wheat Kings call timeout here in the extra session as Kelly McCrimmon's team and the Thunderbirds in overtime for the second straight night to open this Western Hockey League Championship Series. And Tuesday, we take our show on the road, and you don't want to miss it. Kent, Washington, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Pacific, where that building is already sold out. And how they'd love to welcome their T-Birds home in a 1-1 tie in this set.
A lot of scoring depth on Kelly McCrimmon's team. 7 players with 20-plus goals in the season. 5 guys with 20 to 24 points in the playoffs. Seattle, no players with 20-plus points. But here's the difference. It's those guys like Wedman that make the difference in a game like this.
Calvin Leff off the face-off win with a pretty quality opportunity. Provorov and Kolesar. Quenneville up the boards. Glove down by Ottenbright. And Leff knocks Quenneville down in the neutral zone as Barzal spins. Has his 20th point of the postseason in this game. Provorov makes it look too easy sometimes. Magali with Barzal in pursuit. Continues the cycle. Quenneville with Duke now. Reed Duke. Back towards the line. Watched closely by Kolesar, but somehow Mitch Wheaton held it in. Patrick, sharp angle. Stopped by Bo. And Bo says, gents, we need to find that loose puck and clear it. Coulter shovels it in. Howrluck, he scores! Jace Howrluck in overtime, and the Wheat Kings will head to Washington with a 2-0 lead. And a heartache for that man. Chase Howrluck, Bill, with his first goal in 12 postseason games after he was one of the top goal scorers in the regular season with 47.
Yeah, the Wheat Kings, 2 guys with 100 points. Patrick and Howrluck, number 8. You see him there start to play right at the red line. He ends up going in the paint and into the back of the net. Pete, when you take a look at the last 2 goals that Brandon scored, the 2-2 goal off Tyler Coulter's shin pad, and this one in overtime, they're not the prettiest, but boy, do they count.
Heartbreak for the Thunderbirds. And you see goal number 8. And the Brandon Wheat Kings elated and will make their way to Kent, Washington, 2 wins away from their first Western Hockey League Championship Series title win since 1996. But a lot of work left to be done.
Well, you know, if I'm Coach Konowalski, get one more look at this. There's the clear. Now that puck is going to get out in the neutral ice area. That's Howrluck. Now watch where he ends up. He knows the puck's got to go in the corner, looks over his shoulder, throws it in the paint area, and it ends up deflecting into the net. Pete, Coach Konowalchuk, he's got to have enough positives that came out of this game tonight and the game last night, that if he gets into Kent, Washington, let me tell you this right now, they were 29-5 at home ice. There was no team in the Western Hockey League that had a better home ice record during the season than the Seattle Thunderbirds. They're 6-1 in the playoffs on home ice. They lost a total of 6 games there, and if I'm Coach K, I'm thinking, and I'm telling my guys in the dressing room right now, guys, you gave it everything you had right here. You came up short. We start all over again on Tuesday night in a building that we're tough to beat in.
Maybe the adjective of the night for the winners, fortuitous. We'll discuss and analyze our post-game show coming your way next. The Wheat Kings lead the championship affair 2-0.
The Saskatchewan Indian Gaming Authority operates 6 First Nations casinos in Saskatchewan. For more information, visit siga.sk.ca.
Hey, Tyler. What's up? You need to talk?
Yeah, I really do.
Well, come on in. What's going on?
I think WHL is the best way to achieve your goal, and that's to play in the NHL, and it is the top league in the world, and you get to play against the best players for your age group and really develop into a man and a player quicker than most kids do. For me, I chose WHL, which is the best decision I could have made.
Distance gained. No walls to separate us and our home. Drawn deeper by the presence of no one and the essence of everything. Mother Nature's timeless masterpieces, stretching past the sky and the edge of the world, calling us to explore supernatural British Columbia.
And welcome back to Brandon, where the Wheat Kings have just defeated the Seattle Thunderbirds in overtime, the first overtime in Game 2, going overtime for the second straight game, and the overtime hero, Jace Howerluck. And Jace, what a timely goal, your first in a few games here, but take us through it, and how does it feel right now?
It's hard to put into words because, I mean, it's been a while since I've put the puck into the net. I mean, I just haven't got the bounces, and I mean, I've been trying to do different things to try and put it in the net, but I mean, that's just the bounce I needed. I mean, someone was looking over me. I mean, it's a special one.
Take us through it. What did you see on the play?
I mean, great chip by Coulter to get it low. We've been working on getting pucks low and working their D hard, and you know, I honestly was looking to go to Patrick back door there, and I mean, any shot's a good shot, and it happened to go in and off him, and I mean, like I said, someone was watching over me.
How about the overall game tonight? Was this an evenly played contest in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, 39 of the shots. I mean, OT, like, they're a great team. I mean, they're putting us to the edge, and you know, they're giving us all we can handle, and that's good. That's the kind of hockey you want to play, especially in the championship. And yeah, I mean, props to them. They're a great team, but we found a way to win both nights, and you know, that's the big picture.
What's the pace like out there, and how important for you guys to play with speed?
Oh, it's incredibly fast out there, obviously. I mean, we're trying to keep our speed up all game because, I mean, speed kills, and it's hard to defend speed. When you're standing still, it's tough. It's tough to make plays and, you know, get pucks on net, and I think speed is a huge thing, especially in today's game. I mean, you look at the next level and everyone's so fast and, you know, so smart and makes plays quick, and I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, playing with lots of speed.
Okay, up 2-0. How important to be up 2-0 before you go for 3 in Seattle?
Incredibly important. We learned last year in the finals when we lost our first 2 at home that going to Kelowna for 3 games, it's tough to win games like that.
All right, Chase, go wave to the fans. You're the hero, bud. Thanks. There you go, Chase Howerluck, tonight's first star after the OT game winner, breaking a long goal-scoring slump. Let's head over to Andy Neal.
All right,
right, thank you, Kyle. Stu back at Bobdale Gloves, WHL Central. Game 5 of the opening round against the Edmonton Oil Kings was the last time Jace Haralick had a goal. His third of the postseason tonight, coming in overtime. He had gone 12 without one, but he's able to get one. And poor Landon Bowe, tough luck goals in overtime in both games 1 and 2.
Well, Landon Bowe's got wondering, what do I have to do to win a game in this building? And, what a way to lose games. Last night, off the glass, Tanner Castor picks it in midair, bats it in. Jace Haralick, with just a shot from the back of the boards, hits his stick, and just kind of a freaky play, so a bit of a tough luck from Landon Bowe. But, Jace Haralick hasn't scored in 12 games, but one thing he does do is he takes to the puck net every time he can, and I don't know how many times in the playoffs he comes from behind that, throws pucks to the feet, and it's amazing he hasn't scored in 12 games. He's had so many great chances, and sometimes lucky one that to get you going. And Chase had a bit of puck luck there tonight.
Well, I'm kind of wondering what kind of weight that is off his shoulders after 47 goals during the regular year and 106 points. And you mentioned this might be something that gets him now ramped up as they go to Washington, up 2 games tonight.
Well, anytime you come into a playoffs as one of your key go-to guys, and you mentioned a 100-point season, you want to be a contributor. A second-round draft pick of the Florida Panthers, you want to be that guy. And sure, the team's winning, you're getting assists, and everything's going well, but you want to score goals. That's how you're geared. You want to help, you want to contribute by scoring goals, and now Jace Haralick gets himself on the scoreboard, gets that big monkey off his back.
Steve Konowalchuk, I got to wonder how he's able to rally this team after 2 heartbreaking losses. They could have easily been up 2-0. It could be 2-0 the other way for Seattle with how the first 2 games of this series has gone. How many positives are there for him to take forward as they go to home ice?
Well, and I think that's exactly what you saw. We're right there. We lost to the best team in the Western Hockey League point-wise in overtime, 2 games. We're right there, guys. We're going home in the 2-3-2 series. So we got 3 straight games at home. You know what? Let's go home. Goal is win 2 or 3 at least. Then you come back to Brandon and you got to pull off a couple wins on the road. But the Seattle Thunderbirds, they know they can play the Brandon Wheat Kings. If there's any question after last night, got dominated in the third period in overtime. They've come back with a great effort, a great pushback, and just unfortunate they lost. So that's what you sell. You know what, guys? We're right there. We are this close to beating the Brandon Wheat Kings. We just need that one bounce, that one extra break. And let's face it, even the tying goal for the Wheat Kings, it was a bit of a fluke goal. You go to clear it from that off the shin pad of Coulter, goes in your own net. The goal in overtime from behind the boards goes off Bo's stick. 2 goals that where nobody really got beat. It's anybody's fault. So the Seattle Thunderbirds, although it's tough being down 0-2, they do have a lot to build off, and there's a lot of positive things going for them.
They had a power play goal tonight, a special teams goal, also for Brandon, a shorthanded goal from Nolan Patry. How are you looking at the special teams matchups through 2 games so far?
Well, I think Seattle has to be very happy with the way they've handled the Brandon Wheat Kings power play. They have so much skill, and their defense so active. You have Provorov out there, you have Urkamps out there. Clegg, when your second unit, that's a heck of a unit for your second unit. Put Quenneville back there, and to be able to contain those guys in the structure and the discipline they have. So it's, that's something you can really build off of.
What about for Brandon? And, 2 wins here, very close victories, obviously, on home ice. Is there anything you feel that they need to work on and improve upon as they go to the road?
Well, I think all through the playoffs, they've let teams hang around. They've come out and they've dominated and stretched and haven't really been able to put teams away. I think if you can't really work on finishing off teams, but just a little bit of that killer instinct to get them a little bit of separation, because although they've had pretty good success, they haven't had a lot of breathing room, and they've kept games a lot closer than they probably should have been.
It's interesting, the last 2 rounds, Game 3 on the road in Moose Jaw, they lose 7-3, 6-2 to Red Deer in round 3. How much do you think that weighs on their minds going into Game 3 in a hostile environment in Kent?
Well, I think the coaching staff will put it in a way where they're not going to go back, but they know what happened, and they want to get rid of that lapse for whatever reason. They lost those games badly in Game 3, so they're going to show a video. They're going to prepare the teams, maybe change a bit of a routine. They've been doing on the road, just any little thing, quirky things you can do to just kind of break the cycle.
All right, well, let's take a look at the Tony Roma's 3 stars from another 3-2 overtime win for the Brandon Wheat Kings to take a 2-0 series lead in this WHL Championship Series. Jace Haralick, a goal and an assist. He's got 7 assists over a 4-game assist streak, so he is getting on the score sheet for Brandon, and his first goal in 13. Jordan Paperny with 37 saves tonight. Brilliant. And Landon Bowe, a terrific outing as well. 36 saves But on the 39th shot, it got by him from a sharp angle off the stick of Jace Howerlick, and Brandon wins 3-2 in OT on Levitt Machinery WHL on Shaw.
Hi, we're the owners of Arbutus RV.
And we support local community television. Arbutus RV services Vancouver Island with 5 island locations in Sydney, Mill Bay, Nanaimo, Port Alberni, and Courtenay. And online at arbutusrv.ca.
I want you to stay in my life. In my life.
Every year, when you support Full House Lottery, you support the lives of 1.1 million patients and their loved ones. Your ticket brings world-class care to the Royal Alexandra and University of Alberta hospitals. And that makes every Albertan a winner. Thank you from Full House Lottery.
Back in Brandon, and last year the Wheat Kings left home to go to Kelowna down 0-2 in the 2015 Championship Series. Now they're up 2-0, trying to win their first WHL title since 1996, and now halfway there with a 2-0 series lead on Seattle, with the next 3, potentially the next 3 in Kent, Washington, where the Thunderbirds will try to get back into the series. Back at Bobdale Gloves, WHL Central, alongside Jeff Odgers. Jace Howerlick, the overtime winner tonight, his 3rd goal of the playoffs, and first since Game 5 against Edmonton in round 1. We know Brandon's top guys have been playing well, but what about for Seattle and some of the players that stepped up? And one of them, Scott Einzer, getting an assist on the first goal by Donovan Niles. He was effective tonight for Seattle.
Well, he was buzzing, and he was relentless on the forecheck all night. As you mentioned, he had the assist. Towards the end of the 3rd period, he had a great job on the forecheck, beat his man to the puck, walked out into the slot for one of the best scoring chances they've had all game. And, he's the one guy that I thought really picked up his game and stepped up for Seattle.
All right, let's hear from the Seattle Thunderbirds on the heels of the overtime loss tonight.
You have Donovan Niles. Steve, another great game tonight. Tough way to lose. How did you feel about your team's performance tonight as opposed to last night?
I thought our guys played a pretty strong game. Over the 2 nights, I think we've played probably 5 pretty good periods of hockey. And we're 2 shots away from being up 2-0. That's the way it works. And it's the way it works. We're not, though. We know we got work to do. But, we came in here against a good team and a tough place to play, and we've been right there with them. We got to stay positive and, regroup and get ready for our next home game.
Ethan, Brandon's touted as a highly skilled offensive group. What do you see from your perspective against them out there?
Well, they have a very fast transition game, and they're really good on the forecheck, and they get a lot of scoring chances. So, they're a quick team, and we got to keep them to the outside. And I think we've done a good job of that, but we just got to limit their chances.
Donovan, a couple goals for you now in a couple games. What is it that you guys have been doing to be successful?
I think we're just trying to get pucks to the net as much as we can, and just establishing a good forecheck.
Steve, I don't expect you to tell us everything, but what do you say to the guys in the room, especially how evenly played that is and no reason to hang your heads?
Well, basically, like I said, we played pretty 5 good periods. I mean, it's hockey. Maybe, we wrapped up the other series early. We won the other overtime games. Maybe we got a couple bounces that we didn't have to drag out some of those series, and now we didn't get a couple bounces. So things even out. But 2-0 is still a series. It's still a series, and you need to be able to face some adversity. I think we've talked as a team before. At some point, somewhere in the playoffs, you're going to have your backs against the wall a little bit, and that's the way it is. You're not going to go all the way through and run the table. And So I don't think it's anything too unexpected here. We just got to make sure we get ready for next game.
Did you execute your game plan on the road as you would have liked here tonight, managing the puck a little bit better?
I thought we were a lot better managing puck. We weren't perfect, but neither were they. But we were good enough that I thought at times we were dictating some of the tempo, and I thought we weren't hemmed in a lot. We didn't have a period like we had in the first game, and we were able to keep pushing back and make it a pretty good, solid game, and give ourselves a chance to win, and we just didn't get that extra goal.
Ethan, how are the spirits in the room, and what did you see on your goal there? Just a lane open up for your slap shot there, 2-1 goal?
Smitty gave me the puck, and I happened to see a lane when I took the shot, and we also got a lucky bounce, went off one of their players' stick and in the net, so I was pretty happy. We're pretty lively after the goal, but we got to stick to our game plan. After we got the second one, I think we kind of got off it and didn't stick to it.
How much are you looking forward to the next 3 on home ice? What does that mean to your team?
It means a lot. We're pretty excited. We're not going to hang our heads here, and we're gonna get ready because 2-1 series. It's still a good series, and we still have a lot of chances here. So we have a lot of games ahead, and we're just going to keep our heads up.
Steve, with the games this close, what are some of the keys then going home from your standpoint?
Well, we want to make sure we, again, play on our toes. We're not a team that wants to sit back. We want to make sure we're, getting on the forecheck. And, again, I thought overall we've been pretty good with the puck, but we got to get better. Maybe a few less turnovers, go in the net a little bit harder. Maybe we don't bring it into overtime. So what we're doing here, it's been pretty good, but one more notch. We need to play with one more notch and use our home ice and have a lot of energy. We have a real good crowd there. Our guys like to play there, and we got to go out and have a lot of fun and just maybe pick it up another 10%. Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right, so that wraps up the media conference. Donovan Niles, who has scored in back-to-back games to the right, our left of head coach Steve Konowalchuk, and Ethan Bear also scored his 7th of the postseason, so the 2 goal scorers for Seattle tonight. Not disappointed with their efforts, as we heard, but as we heard Steve Konowalchuk say, they need to find another level as he gets set for Game 3.
Well, exactly. At this time of the year, your coaching is done. You've taught the guys all. You prepared them with video, what have you. Now it's a matter of you just motivate their emotions. You keep them up and you let them know you're behind them. You believe in each other as a group, and that's how you go into that. If you're Seattle, listen, guys, we're right there. We've come together all year. We've played well all year. Nothing's changed. 2 games against a great team. We lost 2 games in overtime. Let's just go back home, our fans, our building, and get this thing going our way.
I wanted to mention the top line for Brandon, or one of the top lines for Brandon, with the Patrick Haralick line, along with Tyler Coulter. They were able to get in on the scoring. But Matt Barzal was buzzing tonight alongside Ryan Gropp and Keegan Golazar. How badly do they need them to now get on the score sheet for Seattle?
Yeah, well, Matthew Barzal, I thought he had an excellent game. I thought Game 1, whether it was ice conditions or what it was, I thought he struggled a little bit with the puck. Tonight he was on his game. He was moving the puck. He was through his legs, in traffic, doing all the things you expect from him. And like you say, he's definitely a guy that Seattle has to have going. And if Game 2 is any indication, Matthew Barzal is going to be a force in Game 3.
Well, it should be entertaining. We've got a couple of days off. We'll be flying down to Abbotsford, then driving down to Kent for Game 3, which is coming up on Tuesday night. But 2 outstanding games to start off this WHL Championship Series, with the Brandon Wheat Kings winning both in overtime. It was Tanner Kaspick who was the hero an evening ago, and tonight Jace Haralick, his first goal since Game 5 against Edmonton in round 1. And the Brandon Wheat Kings will go on the road to Kent, Washington, with a 2-0 series lead with back-to-back 3-2 overtime decisions over the Seattle Thunderbirds. But now the Thunderbirds head home for Games 3, 4, and if necessary 5. And Game 3 comes your way Tuesday night starting at 7 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Central. Game 3 of the WHL Championship with the Wheat Kings leading 2-0. For Peter Labardius, Bill Wilms, Stu Walters, Jeff Bodgers, and the rest of the crew, I'm Andy Neal. So long from Brandon, and we'll talk to you again early next week from the Evergreen State.